Welcome, everybody. Tonight is Tuesday, October 28th. It's about 7 p.m. Tonight we have a Planning and Zoning Commission public hearing and general meeting. We are here in Town Hall in room 206. We kind of have an extended agenda tonight, but we'll get through it expeditiously. Should I read the first few?
Yeah, read the first few, and that way it's clear for people on TV or in the audience.
Okay, fantastic. Well, before I get started, if anybody's here for 76 Tokeneke Road or Heights Corners, those are going to be postponed. So if you're here to watch those two items, like somebody was last week, and they waited an hour and a half before they figured out it wasn't on the agenda, we can leave. Good, okay. Okay, the first item on the agenda is proposed amendments to the Darien Zoning Regulations, COZR number 3-2025, also known as PL 25-120, put forth by Heights Corner LLC. Proposal to amend section 743, 746, and 748 of the Darien Zoning Regulations amendments to section 743 to allow certain business and professional offices on the first floors by special permit. Amendment to section 746 to allow furnished basement space up to 25% of the gross floor area of the largest residential floor for residential amenities and up to 5% of floor area for the residential floor for rooftop vestibule. Amendment to section 748 to add a new note G, which would require minimum public plaza area of larger than 8,000 square feet or 10% of the lot area of 2 acres or less. The full text of the proposed amendments are on file and available in the Town Clerk's office and on Planning Zoning Commission and in the Planning Zoning Commission office for inspection and online at darient.viewpointcloud.com as PL 25-120. This hearing is to be immediately continued to November 10th, 2025. Is that because they did the mailing room or something?
No, I think it was, my understanding is they've revised the zoning regulation amendment proposal.
This is already revised.
This is the revised. You've read the number 8,000 square feet,
right,
it's 10,000.
3,500.
So we had to renotice it in the paper, and we need to give it a little more time to be properly renoticed and filed with the town clerk.
Okay.
So that is continued to us. That November 10th meeting is a special meeting. That's a Monday night.
Okay.
That's at 7 p.m. Fred, in this room, 206.
Correct.
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, so just to make sure we're all on the same page, the current regulation tonight is 10,000 square feet. The prior amendment was to go to 3,500 square feet, and now they're going at 8,000 square feet?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. That's better. Okay. The next item on the agenda, proposed amendments to Darien Zoning Regulations, COZR number 4-2025, proposed amendments of the zoning map, COZM number 2-2025, also known as PL 25-145, put forth by Xanadu Capital LLC. Proposal to amend section 462 of the Darien Zoning Regulations to remove the restriction that the Design Office Multifamily Overlay Zone, DOMR, can be only applied to lots in the Design Office DO zone as of the date of the adoption of this section. Proposal to apply the DOMR zoning overlay to 76 Tokeneke Road as shown on Assessor's map number 38 as Lot 2 in the Design Office DO zone. The full text of the proposed amendments are on file and available in the Town Clerk's office and the Planning and Zoning office for inspection and online at darient.viewpointcloud.com as PL 25-145. Now, my understanding is that we don't have a quorum for that,
That's correct.
because I think Commissioner Riley was going to recuse yourself.
Correct.
Okay. That's being put forth by Rucci Law Group, is that correct?
That's correct.
Fantastic, okay. So that is going to be postponed to another meeting. Do we have the date?
Yes, that's also going to be continued to November 10th at 7 PM here in room 206. I'll note for the record that that meeting is scheduled for a Monday instead of our regular Tuesday meeting. But yes, that'll be continued to November 10th.
And can you apologize to the Rucci Group that it was postponed?
Yeah, I understand, yeah, well,
Thank you.
I'm sure the other commissioners couldn't help what they had to
Yep,
do.
I hear you. The next on the agenda is related, but I'm going to read it into the record. Special permit application number 262B, also known as PL 25-146, Xanadu Capital LLC at 76 Tokeneke Road, proposed to establish 3 residential apartments on the upper floors of the existing building on the property as enabled by placement of the Design Office Multifamily Residential Overlay Zone on the subject property under a separate application known as PL 25-145. The 0.44 plus minus acres subject property is located on the north side of Tokeneke Road, approximately 675 feet of its intersection with Old Kings Highway South, and is shown on Assessor's Map number 38 as lot number 2 in the Design Office DO zone. This hearing is also going to be postponed, I'm guessing, to November 10th in
That's
this
correct.
room on a Monday at 7 p.m. So if anybody's here for 76 Tokeneke Road, there's a new woman that came in, that's also being postponed. Okay, moving right along. The next item on the agenda is business site plan application number 54B as in boy, special permit application, also known as PL 25-143, Standard Realty LLC at 805 Boston Post Road, proposal to raise the existing gas station and associated service building to redevelop the property with a motor vehicle service station with 6 self-service fueling positions and associated 2,800 square foot convenience store and on-site parking. The 0.43 plus or minus acres subject property is located on the northwest corner fallen by the intersection of Boston Post Road and Sedgwick Avenue and is shown on Assessor's Map number 16 as lots 4 and 5 in the central business CBD zone. Now this is the gas station, the Shell gas station that is in downtown, directly across the street from 800 Post Road, which is where Burger, Shakes, and Fries is, and it's next door to Starbucks. So Fred, what else do we want to say about this one?
This application was submitted in conformity with sections 1000 and 1020 of the Darien Zoning Regulations under our business site plan and special permit regulations. The application before you is for a replacement motor vehicle service station as it's defined in the Darien Zoning Regulations. It's basically a gas station with 3 pumps and 6 fueling positions and an associated 2,800 square foot convenience store. The existing structures are proposed to be removed and a new building will be constructed. The parking lot will be reconfigured to allow for more parking along with better vehicular traffic flow. The existing curb cuts will be maintained. Development will result in structures being located further from the side and rear property lines than existing conditions. And the development will result in a roughly 10% reduction in impervious areas on the site. This application did go before the Zoning Board of Appeals. ZBA variances were granted on July 22nd of this year for an enlargement of a non-conforming gas station or motor vehicle gas service station. Gas stations are not a permitted use in the central business district. They also received a variance for minimum required parking spaces, 10 spaces in lieu of 14 spaces, and a variance for rear yard setback, 15 feet in lieu of 25 feet in the CBD. The applicant also went before the Architectural Review Board on October 21st with a favorable report being issued by the board. The application was referred out to the building department. Mike Vitti, our building official, submitted an email for the record dated September 29th, noting no issue with the application. I was referred out to the health department. Our health director, Mindy Chambrelli, submitted an email for the record dated September 29th, noting that the application will be required to comply with a food service plan review, since we understand that a portion of the convenience store will be dedicated to a food service use. The application was also referred out to Connecticut DEEP, Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. We received an email back from that agency on October 23rd, noting no comment on the application. No comments on the application were received from the fire marshal, the local traffic authority, or Connecticut DOT. The commission hired 2 peer reviewers for this application, Joe Canis of Ty and Bond to review the stormwater management, sediment and erosion controls, as well as Greg Del Rio of Hardesty and Hanover to review the traffic and parking aspects of the proposal.
Was it Greg or was it Steven?
I'm sorry?
Was it Greg?
Greg and Steve worked on it,
Yeah.
but neither of them are here tonight. Veronica from that firm is here, and she'll be speaking tonight.
Just because Steven signed the
Yeah,
the letter,
that's right.
not Greg. That's why I was shocked, because I was thinking
Yeah.
it was going to be Greg.
Yeah.
Well, I think Greg runs the department, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Greg runs the department, and Steve was the one who worked on it, but I.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk to them. Sorry.
So Steve, we'll say Steve submitted comments for the record dated October 21st.
So what?
And Joe Canis submitted comments for the record dated October 23rd. Both Joe and Veronica are here this evening to present the reports to the commission. No public comment was received on the application, and I understand that Attorney Michael Case is here this evening to present the application to the commission and answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Fred. The only thing I may want to correct, I think you said that the new building is going to be closer to the rear, further away from the rear property line. It's back against it. So the new building, the old existing building in front's getting knocked down.
So there's 2 structures on the site now. Both of those structures, the one in the back is right on the property line.
Yep.
That's going to be demoed, as well as the main building on the site is also going to be
Just in the
demoed.
front. Awesome. Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, welcome to the Darien Planning and Zoning Commission.
Good to be here, and we're not punting.
You're not punting, good. Just state your name for the record. And
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my name is Michael Case. I'm a partner in the law firm of Case, Tush, and Santagata, appearing this evening on behalf of Standard Realty LLC in connection with the site plan application and the special permit application. Together with me this evening are members of our team, including our engineer, Jim DeMeo, our traffic consultant, Scott Hexeth, our project manager, Nadeem Khalid, and Mark Kosick of Standard Realty and Standard Petroleum. As staff has indicated, the property is located at 805 Boston Post Road. It's in a CBD commercial zone. It's on the north side of the Post Road and the west side of Sedgwick Avenue. And the existing building was built in the 1950s. And to be generous, it's a tired building and a tired layout on that site. What gives rise to this application is the fact that the property has been leased to an operator for the last number of years, and that lease expired, and it will now become not a leased facility, but a company-run facility, which they intend to completely renovate and reconstruct into a very handsome, safer facility that will integrate with the community and the street structure. The existing site is, as indicated, 0.4343 acres on a corner lot. And there are existing 3 pumps. There will be 3 pumps on the new site serving 6 stations. The current site has 2 buildings, as the chair correctly points out. There's one in the rear, very close to the rear property line, and the gas station structure itself, which is more to the south on the lot. The total of those 2 buildings existing is 3,750 square feet. The new structure, which will be moved back from the post road, will only be 2,800 square feet, so there's a reduction in the building size of some 700 square feet. There will be 3 pumps with 6 stations, and the architectural plan is one which I think you will find very attractive. It's been reviewed both in September and October by the Architectural Review Board. They've given its approval to proceed with construction, and as staff has indicated, the ZBA has granted all the required variances for this project to go forward. It is a major improvement. Instead of 2 buildings, there will be 1. The square footage is reduced by some 950 square feet. The coverage of the site is reduced from 20.2% to 14.8%. Aesthetically, it is a very attractive building and incredible improvement over the existing facility there. Because we have moved the pumps further to the north from the post road, it allows for internal circulation that increases mobility, but perhaps most importantly, increases the safety factor and eliminates the queuing that used to occur onto the post road for people trying to enter into the station. My client has worked carefully with the staff. They've worked with the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Architectural Review Board, and all of the approvals are in place. We believe that the application we will present to you tonight complies with Section 1005 for the special permit, 1024 for the site plan, 1056 for a service station, and 1025, which is the site plan objectives. We will hear on the 2 peer review comments that were made, but before we get to that, I think I'd like to introduce our experts on those 2 issues. And first I will introduce our traffic expert, Scott Hexeth. And I would point out that we are not changing the use. So it is a gas station, it will remain a gas station. So frankly, the impact on both Sedgwick and the Boston Post Road is not that much different than it exists now. The real focus should be on the internal operations from a traffic control standpoint, where we're increasing the depth away from the Boston Post Road of the pumps. We are increasing the on-site parking, and we are allowing for by reconfiguring those pumps, a safer way for vehicles to circulate on-site, which enhances the mobility and safety, and we believe the aesthetics. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Scott to comment.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. For the record, Scott Hesketh. I am a licensed engineer in the state of Connecticut, firm of F.A. Hesketh and Associates, and we're the author of the Traffic Impact Report dated September 16th. We were asked to take a look at the impacts of the proposed development on the local roadway network, and to review the on-site circulation, and our analysis and the conclusions and results are presented in the report. I'll keep it brief, and then rely on any questions you guys might have. Again, as the attorney just mentioned, this is an existing gas station, service station. It's going to remain a gas station, service station. And you even heard that the size of the development is getting a little bit smaller from a square footage standpoint. We did run the trip generation numbers for the site based on the ITE numbers, because the existing facility was closed at the time we were asked to take a look at it. And we are going from 4 vehicle fueling positions to 6 vehicle fueling positions. So there's an opportunity to service 2 additional vehicles at a time. When you run the trip generation numbers for the development, the existing development had trip generation potentials of about 41 trips during the morning, 56 trips in the afternoon, and 51 trips on a Saturday peak hour. The proposed development, based on the square footage of the convenience store, has a total of about 114 trips, 136 trips, and 102 trips. Now, this is a convenience store. It's an existing facility, a very busy Route 1. We did project that about 50% of that traffic will be pass-by traffic. It's traffic that's already on the local roadway network, just happened to say, hey, gas station, time to fill up, I'm thirsty, I need a pack of cigarettes, whatever, and we'll pull in and out. So you're gonna have, those are the driveway volumes we're gonna experience, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's an increase in traffic on the local roadway network, unless you just happen to be diverted off of I-95, and this happened to be the first site that you saw. So we used a 50% pass-by credit. And that indicates that, well, we're looking at increases over the existing of about 73 trips, 80 trips, and 51 trips. And if you assume half of those are pass-by trips, you're looking at increases of less than 1 trip a minute into and out of the site during those peak hours. Certainly not a significant impact on the local roadway network. Now, we did do traffic volume counts toward the end of August. Fortunately, we had time constraints and had to get the report in so it could be reviewed. One of the comments from the peer review was, well, school's open, maybe we should go back out and do some more counts. Although our turning movement counts at the intersection were conducted during that August time period, we did compare that traffic volume to the most recent conduct counts for Route 1, which happened to be from September of 2022. So we did adjust those volumes upwards so that they generally reflect a school time period. They're a couple years old, certainly, but I mean, if we were to go back out now and do additional counts, would the volumes be significantly more different? I tend to doubt that. And if we look through the peer review, they said, well, you might want to change this factor in the analysis, this factor in the analysis, that factor in the analysis. But I think their general conclusion was, if we change all of these factors, it's probably not going to make a significant difference in the analysis. And again, in our review and in our analysis, we're looking at increases in delay of just a handful of seconds at the intersection. In the afternoon peak hour, maybe 17.5 to 18 seconds. Saturdays, almost 19 to maybe 20 seconds, and very little changes in the morning. So we don't believe it's necessary to go out and do additional counts. We think we'll get similar volumes to what we reflect in the report. If the commission believes it's absolutely necessary that we have to do that, we certainly can. It's just, we got the peer review late Thursday afternoon. And there wasn't a whole lot of time between then and tonight to get additional counts and analysis done and get it back to you. So we're hoping that maybe the commission says maybe that might not be necessary.
How long does it take you to get more counts? Was it a week?
How long does it take? Well, I need...
You have to do permission from the state to put down the rubber tube?
No, we would go out and do manual turning movement counts at the intersection. So it's 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. I don't think Saturday would be necessary since school doesn't impact Saturday significantly.
But Saturday's going to be your peak, and it's the fall versus August.
Yeah, it'd be the school time peak versus the August peak. But again, the conduct counts that we used were a September count. So I would assume that the September 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere in there, would assume that the schools were open during that period. So we believe the volumes that we have are reflective of the conduct counts. There are some other review comments. The crash data should be presented in a tabular form, I mean, I can certainly do that, and if necessary, but the crash data information is provided in the report, and the raw data is in the appendix of the report for all to take a look at. The reviewer said the trip generation seemed appropriate. They suggested a 45% pass-by credit as opposed to 50, but 45 or 50 over hundreds, a handful of vehicles, probably not a significant issue. On the capacity analysis, they suggested, use real-life heavy vehicle factors. I went back through the counts, and generally the DOT suggests a 2% base rate. And I think, several of the approaches were 1%, and maybe one of them was 3%. One of them was 4% over the different hours of counts that we had. So I think 2% roundabout is probably pretty good. And again, the change in level of service was de minimis, and the change in capacity was de minimis. Again, but if the commission feels it's appropriate, we'll certainly do that. In terms of on-site circulation, you're going to hear a little bit more about that. The site is expanding by moving the building back. We're going to have wider drive aisles, so more room between the pumps and Route 1 for people to enter and exit, so entering traffic to see whether pumps are available or not. There's more a wider drive aisle between the pumps and the building, with some parking up along the building. I believe we have more than enough parking spaces, for at least for the use that we're proposing. And turning movements were done for the delivery vehicle, and it can get into and around the site. Other vendors will probably use similar sized vehicles, 45-foot vehicles, and they too can get around the site. Fuel deliveries, they do their best to schedule them during off hours when there's not a lot of people on site. Is it possible that someone might show up during a busier time? Certainly. And if the tanks are dry, you need to get somebody in. But then again, if the tanks are dry, you're not selling any gas, so there's plenty of room on site. So,
With regards to that, do you know the size of the tanks today?
I don't, but you're probably going to hear a little bit about that.
The size of the tanks are going to factor into your traffic study.
You're probably going to hear a little about that. Typically, gas stations of this type probably get 2 to 3 tractor-trailer deliveries a week, again, depending on volume.
So time out. So as part of your traffic study, you didn't know what the size of the tanks were?
I don't know the size of the tanks, but
Okay.
generally speaking, 2 to 3 of those types of deliveries a week is what we see at facilities such as this. And again, it's based on size of tank, volume of sales, and the like, so it could be variable in that sense. Again, we've got 3 site driveways. They're in the same location as in the background conditions. The intersection is signalized, so yes, there is queuing across the site frontage on both Sedgwick and Route 1, which will impact traffic being able to get into and out of the site. That's true at many downtown locations in many cities. And the queues will dissipate and give people the opportunity to get into and out of, and that queuing is one of the reasons we use the 50% pass-by, because most people are probably going to make a right in and right out, because if it's difficult to make a left-hand turn, you've got another choice somewhere along the line during those peak hours. During off-peak hours, when there's not as much traffic, it's not a significant hindrance. So if you have any specific questions related to traffic, I'd be happy to address them rather than hit you with a bunch of numbers. And I can address them at this time, or if the commission feels it's more appropriate to do so later. And we're ready to give you an overview of the site plan at this time.
Let's just ask a couple, hopefully, first off questions. So at the beginning, you said it's a gas station and service station, right? Is that what you said or not?
That's what I said. That's why we ran the numbers, yes.
Okay, but it's not a service station anymore. It's going gas only, right? And
It's going
no
gas and
service.
convenience,
Gas
as
and
opposed to
convenience.
gas/service.
Correct. So in my experience, the convenience store is the leading traffic generator versus the gas station.
Hence the higher trip generation numbers.
Right, because the trip generation is more than doubling, right?
Yes.
It's going from 41
Yes.
to 105.
Yeah, the driveway volumes are probably double, that's correct.
Okay. Because that's important. I think what you do need to know, because we've had some experience with this before, I think to be able to do a proper study, and I'm going to let Hardesty and Hanover speak for themselves, you need to know the volume of the tanks. The reason why that matters is because if your tanks are, for argument's sake, 1,000 gallons, and it's a 300,000 gallonage store, it means you got to fill the tanks more often than not. If your tanks are 2,000 gallons, that's less time you got to fill the tanks. That's why it factors into the.
And that will change the number of truck deliveries from perhaps 2 to 3 or maybe 4 a week.
Exactly.
I don't expect it to go from 2 to 3 to 20 a week.
I don't either, but
So
if
from
you
a
don't.
capacity standpoint, I don't believe it's significant. The fact that the site can accommodate the turning movements of those vehicles, and the fact that those are scheduled during off-peak hours is the important factor in that. I
Right,
believe.
because we're going to probably land up, if it gets approved, we're going to probably stipulate when the trucks can come in, when the delivery trucks can come in, to like a Sunday morning or a Saturday night or something like that. I bet you that's going to be the case. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think that matters. For your traffic study, did you know the hours of operation that's proposed by the operator?
I don't know the hours of operation.
Okay.
Generally, from a traffic study, we look at peak hours, and whether they're open at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock is.
Okay, so is it the peak hour for the convenience store or the peak hour for the gas station?
We assume that the peak hour of the site coincides with the peak hour of the background traffic. And I analyze it on that situation.
So the post road, because you're 100% correct, the post road on Saturday morning is a disaster. Right, so that's going to be the peak hours of the road. Is that also the peak hours of the uses on the site?
We assume that to be true in our analysis, yes.
Okay, so you're matching them up.
Yes.
Okay. And now, I'm sorry, what was your peak hour in the afternoon? Is that after school hours?
Well, based on the count data, the morning peak hour was 8 to 9 a.m. The afternoon peak was 5 to 6, and Saturday was 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, based on the count volumes that we had observed.
Okay, so you did that was that was a field observation?
Yes,
Okay. That's not ITE stuff or DOT count?
that's field observation, turning movement counts, and then we assume that the ITE peak occurred simultaneously with that.
Okay, okay. Is there a flag proposed for either the gas or the convenience store yet?
Unless they're hanging out of somebody's window,
No.
I'm not,
What I mean, is it mobile? Is it
is it mobile?
7-Eleven? Is it
that's,
Standard Oil? Which is a Standard Oil in towns over at Narone Heights now. That's the one to the right or the left. I forget which one it is. Okay. I didn't know Standard Oil had convenience stores, but I've been wrong before.
Sir, excuse me.
One second. What else? I think that's it. I want to let the other commissioners, sure, if you want to come up, you're
Yeah. My name's Mark Krajcik with Standard, Petroleum Standard Realty.
Can you spell your last name, please?
Kraucick. Just to clarify a couple questions, obviously on the tank sizes. It's going to be two 12,000 gallon size tanks. They're going to be split. I believe it's 7,000. One's going to be a 12,000 regular, and then 7,000 for super and 5,000 for diesel. That's correct.
What's the projected volume of the store?
The hope would be 100,000 gallons. Currently, the station did 50,000 gallons the way that it was.
Okay.
You were looking at previously you're looking at 1, maybe 2 deliveries a week. We're thinking now 2 to 3 deliveries a week. Personally, I schedule those deliveries. I don't want a driver driving down 95 at all during the daytime, never mind delivering on the post road in Darien.
Where's your depot? Bridgeport?
We load up, this station will be loaded out of Bridgeport, yes.
Okay.
So, no, I don't want a driver coming down here. We also deliver to 164 Norotan Avenue, 180 Norotan Avenue, and 1927. I like to make all those deliveries at nighttime.
Okay.
So that plan would be that off-peak hours for sure to avoid traffic. In regards to the flag, it will remain a Shell station. It will be branded Shell gasoline, and then the store will have a standard, it is a standard C-store. Yes, Standard will be operating it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I mean, it's, there, in the real estate business, there is a difference between, you know, a Marriott hotel and a Hilton hotel,
Absolutely.
right? There's a difference between a mobile and a
100%. And that's why it'll remain Shell,
Right.
for sure.
Okay. Does Standard have a lot of flags, franchise stores, C-stores? I mean, I can't,
I have one that's also branded Standard. It's in Shelton, Connecticut. It's right on Howe Avenue, right off Route 8.
Okay.
But I have not, I've always kind of stayed away from the Standard brand just in case there was a annoyed oil customer. But honestly, it is a very successful company and a very good company
Right.
that's been in business for over 100 years. So I don't want to shy away from it anymore.
no, I get you.
Yeah.
Do you sign a contract with them of how long they're going to be there?
In terms of who?
In terms of the flag for the operator, store operator?
Oh, so Standard is we are going to run that store ourselves, the store. In terms of the Shell brand, yes, we signed a contract with them. But this is Darien. I don't want another brand. It is going to remain a Shell for as long as Standard owns the property. And
Okay.
yeah.
No, those
Yeah,
things
for
matter,
sure.
because there was a Cumberland Farms that was on the border of Stanford, and it was, I don't know, I forget what it was for a little while, it was something small, then Cumberland Farms came in, their volumes went way up, and then
Yeah.
something went sideways, and Cumberland Farms pulled out.
I see a drastic difference between Shell gas stations in this town and other brands, for sure.
Okay. Because those, I mean, from where we sit, you know, we want you to be successful.
Yeah.
Right, we're not trying to make you, you know, go the other way, but you just got to make sure that the roads can handle it. You know, the convenience store that I go to in Rhode Island, I've gotten gas there in 10 years, 6 times. I go to the convenience store twice a day to get coffee and to get a Slurpee at the end of the day, and it's a Cumberland Farms. You know, that's why the convenience store creates more traffic, and you know, that's what you're in business for. Obviously, changing oil and fixing tires and changing spark plugs, you know, that's done by dealerships now. It's not done by
I think
gas stations.
the biggest thing, especially from what was there to what we're proposing, that Billy was a great tenant, but Billy stacked up cars. So yes, the traffic may not have.
Boats and tires.
And exactly. So that obviously, with that all removed, I think the ability for people to get in and out of that property will drastically change.
My brother worked for Billy when he was in high school. He did.
At the dealership or?
No, at the gas station. He pumped
Okay.
gas there. He told me, he said, you got to approve this. You got to pump gas there. Okay. I'm going to open up to the other commissioners before we let him off the hook and let you off the hook. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I have one question for the traffic engineer.
Thank you.
And it relates to the orientation of the pumps. These, on this site, let's say the pump orientation is, we'll call it north-south for a better, perpendicular to the post road. On every other gas station on the post road, they're the other way. They're parallel to the post road for easy in on the post road and then easy out. Does the orientation was this orientation chosen for a specific reason? And does this orientation, it perhaps makes it easier to get to the back of the convenience station, but I could see where the internal queuing on the site becomes worse when you're trying to make a right onto the post road when traffic is already queued up because Starbucks is right there and people are trying to make a left, which is an awful in and out of Starbucks, right? It's a very poorly designed sort of place, for lack of a better word. But if you're if you're not at a pump and you're in the convenience store, it's hard to, in this orientation of the pumps, it feels like it'd be adding more traffic internally to the site than if the pumps were orientated it parallel to the post road. So I just want to know why they're like that.
That might be a site engineer.
Might be more of a site, but
Yeah, that's.
I can wait, but I wasn't sure if it handled like the internal traffic queuing.
But I mean, from my perspective, having vehicles parked here sideways and people backing out might be problematic. Car doors and the like, people trying to get in and out of cars while people are backing in and out. I mean, if you're in a spot here, you can always come around to this driveway, come around this driveway. If one of the spots is open, depending on which side your tank fills now, a lot of people like to have used to be in the old days, you had them in the back, didn't matter which way you went in, now they're on one side or the other. So if this spot happens to be empty, you want to pull around and come this way, it's certainly doable. And you don't have vehicles blocking you one to the next. So it's easier to access all of these pump locations with a configuration as this.
But I think what his question is it easier to access the store?
And the site, right?
Because you
the
have
store
to-
is where you're gonna generate the traffic.
Right.
It's
So
certainly
the
easier to
question
access
to
the
you,
store,
as a
but
traffic engineer, the question to you is internal queuing and movement.
It's certainly
Do you-
easier to
do you
access the store with
approve
the
that?
parking across the frontage, certainly. Yes.
Right, but to get in there, to get into the front end of the store, you have to go around the pumps.
Well, even if the pumps were the other configuration, you'd still have to circle the pumps in order to access the store. So in the event where one or two of the spots are open and you're not looking for gas, it's possible to come up and drive through. You can certainly, easier in that respect. But, you know, if the pumps were turned sideways, you might have 2 cars or 3 cars here, 2 cars here, and the island itself would be blocking you from accessing that direction. So, yeah, it makes it easier in internal site access. And again, pulling the pumps back gives you a little bit extra room here for vehicles queuing, coming in behind perhaps, coming up and waiting for a spot to open up and come in. So hopefully it cleans it up a little bit, makes it a little easier to access with the 2 additional fueling positions. Perhaps we'll be able to get more people through, whether that means a higher volume or just the same number, and we have more opportunities in getting through. I think that's a benefit. And as long as the provision of the parking spaces are on the back, if somebody wants to go in first, get a cup of coffee, and come back out, it's certainly doable.
Does the
with this layout.
orientation change the internal queuing at all, or no?
What changes the internal queuing is the fact that we move the pumps back farther away from the roadway, which is the most helpful. I haven't done measurements of all the queuing because this is the layout that we went with. But, I mean, if you were to have, if the cars are going in this direction and a car was here at the pump, you don't have a whole lot of room back out because you got 1-2 cars here, maybe you got 2 cars coming in. Does this guy go behind this guy? Does this guy go around this direction? Which side are you coming in on? And then you got 2 cars facing each other,
Right,
trying to go around each other.
But
So-
my question is, every other gas station decided the other orientation, even on smaller sites, is kind of similar. So I'm just wondering if it has any impact on the
I think, why don't you wait for him?
Yeah, we can wait for the
We're gonna
site
wait for
plan.
you.
He'll give you the philosophy of how they got here, because they started that before.
You were brought in after it was already laid
Before I
out,
came
you were
on.
brought in after the fact. I get it.
Okay.
Question, where are the fuel pumps? Where you put the fuel in the ground?
The tanks will stay in the same location that they currently are.
So where you, all right, you're gonna show that? I just wanna see what's gonna get blocked, so we'll figure out the timing later for that stuff. Okay. Amy, any questions?
No, my questions are related to site, which I'll reserve for him.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can definitely see how it would double your gas volume. You had 4 pumps and it was not self-serve. So now you have,
It is a self-service.
it wasn't though.
Correct.
Right, so between, 2 more pumps and now being self-serve, I can absolutely see the gas sales going up a lot. Question for you is, I noticed in the ZBA, there was a prohibition on any, signage for what you're selling inside to be posted on the exterior, like,
I'm in it.
12-pack of cigarettes, whatever, like on the outside.
They don't sell cigarettes anymore.
No, I'm just saying, is that
the whole
consistent with the
zoning
model
changed.
that you have in your standard convenience stores?
Personally, no, I hate.
You have to come up to the
Yeah.
podium.
It's pretty good, it's very loud over here.
Yeah, but I'm with the TV guy.
Oh.
No, personally, I don't
He likes
allow
standing
signage.
Great.
A
Got it.
lot of the vendors fight me all the time, but I don't want it to look
Great.
like a bodega. That's not gonna happen.
Great, that's
Um,
right answer. Okay.
The only, the Exxon station on the post road,
The one that's on the north border?
those islands are actually pulling. They're not side by side.
Okay.
Okay.
And their gas is $3.60 a gallon?
No. The Exxon
Nielsen's.
closer to Shake Shack,
Yeah,
Oh,
the one by
okay.
Nielsen's.
I got you.
I think he's $3.19 today.
The other guy's $3.60. George?
Regular, yeah, please. For the engineer, Mr. Hexeth, I have concerns. I don't like the exiting of this site from the southeast corner onto the Boston Post Road going left, heading then east. Southeast, I think, yeah, there. Going left there. That's a highly congested area, I find. And so you're going to have to go through the westbound traffic to get to the eastbound traffic. Does that concern you at all?
Well, this is Route 1. It's a downtown area. You've got many driveways up and down Route 1 with both right and left turns. You're a downtown area. Left turns are difficult on occasion. Does it concern me? I mean, we can't restrict every site in the world to right in, right out.
We did it at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, we have.
You can certainly try.
Many times.
You can certainly
This
try.
is Darien, man.
But, we've got the option here of, we've got the driveways to Route 1, and we've got the driveways to Sedgwick. Can you make a left-hand turn anytime you want to during peak hours? No, sometimes you're gonna have to wait, sometimes you're gonna have to use a side street. You might just get frustrated and have to make a right-hand turn. That's, this is Route 1, it's a busy roadway, absolutely, but the reason they wanna be here is it's a busy roadway, and this is the kind of location for this type of use. We don't stick gas stations on quiet suburban roadways next to, next to houses. We put them on busy state routes with heavy volumes of traffic, because that's where they belong.
Can I make a suggestion, George?
Please.
Same thing. So the curb cut that's to the, I want to call it to the right? If you said there was no exiting going eastbound on that, the person's wants to go eastbound is going to come out on Sedgwick and then use the traffic light to make the left versus trying to cut across the westbound traffic. I mean, that's the idea. There's a lot of spots in town where we have no left turn, no right turn coming out. So is that something that you would recommend to your client?
Well, again, these are existing driveways. They've been operating this way for an awful long time, so
Right.
I don't see any reason.
You're going from 41 trips to 106, 108, right?
I understand.
So, I mean, I can see if there's 20 people going in and out, but you're going 1 minute, was it in and out, one every minute, something like that in the peak hour? That's a lot of cars.
I believe
that's-
these things tend to be self-leveling. Again,
Agreed.
and you're going to get primarily a lot of right in, right out, because that's the easiest thing to do.
Right.
You get the one person who happens to have a Shell card who lives on the other side, and they don't shop at Mobile or Citgo or the other one. They're coming here regardless, and they're going to want to make that turn. And when we start signing things, no left turn, you know, that's the person who ends up getting
I mean,
the
look
traffic
at what
ticket and
happens at
ends up
Dunkin'
getting
Donuts.
mad
They
at
do it all the time. There isn't no left turn there, and people do it all the time. All the time.
I've stopped going to Dunkin' Donuts.
Why don't you think there'll be left turn in, why wouldn't the eastbound traffic be as likely to turn in as the westbound?
Left turns in are certainly a lot easier than left turns out, because you only have to cross one direction of traffic. So there might be more left turns in than left turns out naturally, certainly. But it's a convenience store and a gas station, and if it's not convenient, you're gonna pick the next one, because you will pass another gas station or convenience store or coffee shop or fast food place somewhere down the road, and if you're worried about taking 5 minutes to get out, that's not convenient to you, you'll pick the next one because it's right in, right out. 'Cause
Yeah, there's not a
you'll get
lot
out
of convenience
quick.
stores around here. I don't think there's any, to be honest with you. There's zero.
Technically, there's 2.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there is.
Did you get your question answered, George?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. You want to hear from Hardesty and Hanover next, since we're on the traffic? Or you want to go to the
Probably
site
makes
plan?
sense, yeah. Right.
Okay. Veronica, welcome. You're up. We should have done site plan first, but that's okay.
Well, I'll make mine quick because they.
No, trust me, you're going to come back full time.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. My name is Veronica Prezioso, for the record, with Hardesty in Hanover. I'm also a professional engineer in the state of Connecticut. We conducted a preliminary review of the traffic report and the site plan, and we provided some comments to the applicant to address, which they've mentioned so far. So once we receive those responses, we'll provide our final findings. But right now, I'll give you a brief overview of everything that we've provided to them. I think the main thing to note, the existing gas station obviously has 6 pumps today, but it's operating really only with 4. And it's a 3,800 square foot service center with a small convenience store and a small garage behind. Proposed gas station with 6 pumps and the 2,800 square foot convenience store. That's the big generator that we've been discussing. Starting off with the counts, obviously they noted the counts were conducted in August when schools were closed at the intersection of Route 1 and Sedgwick. They did compare it to the DOT's count station nearby. However, that was 2 years prior, in September of 2023, and there are other high volume driveways in between, including Starbucks and the site. In addition, there are no Saturday data for that count station, so there's no real comparison there for the count data on Saturday, so therefore we are requesting that the applicant does perform new traffic counts when schools are in session during the weekday and on Saturday. The no build, they conservatively grew the volumes by 2% per year. They only grew it to 2026, which obviously is only a few months from now, and only a little over a year from when the counts were done. We do suggest that they grow it to 2027. However, with the conservative growth rate that they use, they should be okay there. The traffic generation, obviously IT has a few different land uses that you could use for gas stations, service centers, and or associated convenience stores. Based on our review, we do feel that the applicant has used the appropriate ones for both the existing gas station and service station, as well as for the proposed gas station and convenience store. They did conservatively use the higher of the 2 independent variables, being either the vehicle fueling pumps, so the 6 pumps that they're proposing, or the 2,800 square foot convenience store, which happens to be, what do you think, the 2,800 square foot convenience store. So they did conservatively use the higher of the 2, which we...
Convenience store's a higher volume.
Sorry, yeah, higher volume, yes.
More trips to the convenience store.
Yes. And they did mention that they took a 50% pass-by credit, which we did note that CONDOT does typically only go up to 45%, but it's neither here nor there. That's only a couple trips. So overall, we believe that it's reasonably acceptable for the site traffic generation, as well as...
What does that mean, 50%? 50% of the people that go in through are going to just for...
Yeah, so basically, it's not new traffic added to the network. It's just people passing by the site today that say, hey, oh, there's a gas station there. I'm going to stop and get gas right now and then leave the site.
Incremental.
Yes. and/or for the convenience store. They could be stopping in for a pack of gum or cigarettes, like everyone's been noting tonight. I don't know why that's the...
Big gulps. I don't know why.
Big gulps. So yes, that's neither here nor there, and it is a conservative estimate, and it's reasonably acceptable for the traffic generation. The distribution assumptions were also reasonably acceptable. They assumed 40% east and west on Route 1, which makes sense, and 10% north and south on Sedgwick. And overall, based on the current assumptions that we have now with the existing counts that were provided in August, it is reasonably acceptable for the build conditions and the capacity analysis that we've reviewed thus far. However, we will need to review it again once they've been addressed. So if you have any questions.
In your estimation, how do trip counts change from an August to a school year? Is it by order of magnitude of 10%, 20%, 30%?
Order of magnitude, it depends on the area, but I will say that August in particular is a key time for vacations.
I was kidding, there's a difference between August 1st and August 25th, too.
Yeah, so there are a lot, there is typically, it's pretty incremental. I would say, I don't know numbers here, but it's, I would say it's pretty reasonable to think that there's going to be more traffic during the school year than in August.
Second question for you is, do traffic studies have special estimates or models for Starbucks?
For Starbucks?
For Starbucks.
That's a good question.
That is by far
sorry?
The most amount of traffic that happens on that block.
It's right next door.
And that's there.
Yes.
That's there already.
Well, they did just update the trip generation manual, so I can take a look. I think they have a new land use code that is more aligned with that now. But yes, they have a drive-through that would be aligned with
so much
Starbucks.
So where I'm actually thinking that you need to make sure people don't use your parking for Starbucks. Just an FYI, that's a thought.
Just like they tried to block me for years, yeah.
People will.
I used to come with Farms parking for Dunkin' Donuts on the Rhode Island.
Yeah. Okay.
You good?
I'm good, yeah.
My only question was, in regards to the current usage trips, based on the fact that I've never been to this gas station, or have I known anybody who's ever gone to this gas station?
All the time.
I seriously, I've never, it is almost always, you'll be on the post road, it's always empty. I was shocked at how high those numbers were, so I get that there's certainly a difference between August, particularly the beginning of August and September here, right? But I was surprised that even the numbers in the 40s seemed very, very high to me.
Well, while that might be specific to this site, I do think that the existing site could be reoccupied in full as a gas station that could generate this amount of traffic.
So that's what you're.
So that's typically what you compare
That's
to.
what you're comparing it to. So just so that's my point, right? So we're clear. It's not that right now we're going to be doubling the usage of it. We're basically saying if this gas station were actually utilized correctly, even at its current state, we're going to double it from there.
Right.
But its current state is probably significantly underutilized. So the amount of traffic that's going to happen on the post road because of this, based on the actual usage, not the theoretical best optimized usage, is going to increase more than 50%. It's going to increase probably more, 1.5 times.
Right, which is 41 to, what was the number, 41 to 105?
No, if 41 is the optimal use, it's going to go from like 20 to like 105.
Well, she goes there 3 times a week. Yeah.
She's going to push part of the 20, but that's what I'm saying.
No.
It's not 50 to 100. It's really more like 20 to 100.
Right.
If you're looking at actual usage.
Yeah, no, you're right, because it was mainly a repair shop.
Yeah,
was mainly
very low
repair shop.
usage.
And
So I just
the repair shop, you dropped your car off in the morning, you dropped your car off on Thursday night, and you pick it up Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 0 trips. It's it's one.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
I would argue otherwise. I think there's always was a queue for gas there. There's always somebody, it was constantly.
I think you'd be shocked, yes.
What's that?
Yeah, I think he would be shocked.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure,
And
that's-
how much
that's-
gas, yeah.
He's a
yeah,
Tokeneke guy, what do you expect?
I'm there every day.
You're at Starbucks every day.
Oh.
Okay, George?
Two things, if I may. First, I missed what you said about 40% going east-west and
yes.
10% Sedgwick. What was that about?
That's the distribution of the traffic that's proposed to be generated by the site. They just distributed it so that 40% of the traffic either arriving or departing from the site would be traveling to the west on Boston Post Road and 40% to the east, and then 10 to the north and south on Sedgwick.
Oh, I see.
100% total.
Okay, I think.
That's just generally where the traffic is coming from and
Okay.
departing to.
Okay,
So, yeah.
I guess that just feeds my concern about that left-hand turn at the southeast corner. Do you care to comment on, I will add to my question that I did not mention to Mr. Hexeth, is its proximity to the intersection of Sedgwick and Post. I just think that that's a problematic turn left out of there. It's going to be nuzzling through traffic that is kind of waiting on westbound, and then the eastbound will have the traffic lights having them stopped, and I just don't see that as an easy way to do this, or even a
Yeah,
good way to do this.
It'll certainly be difficult, but there will be gaps that they can find to make the lefts. I will say, though, that one of the comments that we made was specific to the capacity analysis and running it in synchro, specific to the turning pockets at the light. So once those are adjusted and a couple other factors are tweaked, it should help better simulate the queues that will be developed at the light, so we can see just how far back the 95th percentile queues will reach, to see just where the end kind of reaches.
But you're queuing, there's two lights that you have to queue. You
Yeah.
gotta queue the Sedgwick traffic.
I was just saying, there's a
that
lot of
goes, and then
Sedgwick
you gotta
queuing there
queue
too.
Yes,
The Boston Post Road traffic.
right.
And how does that help us with this
Well, I'm
tonight?
speaking specifically to the light because that's what they're analyzing, but in relation to the left turn out of the site, it might be difficult to do it, but it is an existing condition. There is another.
To his earlier point, it'll just self-regulate.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna do it.
There is another driveway that they
Just-
can make
there's
the
another
turn
driveway.
from, so yeah.
Yeah.
If they're trying to make a left and there's a queue backed up here, they'll probably just go to the
Yep.
further west driveway and make the left out there if they
Or
can make it.
go
Or
to
they'll
Sed- go to
make
Sedgwick
a right
and
and go around the block.
Or they'll
Okay,
get
so-
there
so what-
and they'll back up, and then they'll go down the other side, or they'll back up and go down Sedgwick.
So what you're saying is that we shouldn't force them to put a no left-hand turn sign at the eastern exit?
I mean, while it may help, it's all about enforcement, and like you guys said before, if it's not enforced, it's not really gonna work.
No,
Yeah, I mean, we
But-
enforced it at Trader Joe's, I could tell you
Then,
that.
I mean, it's
The
hard
police
to,
department wanted us to do it at Trader Joe's, that's why it was done at Trader Joe's.
I would like to see the analysis once it's updated to kind of make that decision, just to
Okay,
see
that's
where
fine.
the back of the queues fall. Because if it's past that driveway, then I would say probably yes, it would make sense to restrict the left-hand side.
And I have one more question for
Yes.
you. At the end of Sedgwick, about 200 yards, what I'll say is south of this property,
Yes.
there's a new apartment building going in. Did this take into account the additional traffic coming from that?
Yes, that's 7 Sedgwick, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did include
Okay.
that in their traffic
I looked
analysis,
for it, but I
yes.
couldn't find it, so, okay, so as long as they included that, because
Yes.
that's not, there's no residential spot there now, so it'll
It's
be a new,
at
bunch of new
Corbin,
cars.
Outlet 3 Park on the south
Yeah.
side of Riverview.
But I would venture to guess, you've got Stop and Shop, Odalise. You've
Yeah,
got lots
those
of,
people.
options for people to go in different directions. It's not like it's gonna be the only convenience store to sell milk and eggs all around. People might just choose to go one more block.
To Stop and Shop. yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. You're good, you're good. All right, so your final thing is, because this is going to go to Mr. Hexet, you're asking for more detailed review of the track volumes analysis to be completed versus comments 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're standing by that.
Yeah.
That means you're doing it. And I'm trying to, when were you there in August? Or what was the date you were there? I don't see the date in the letter. The count was conducted in September of '23.
That's the DOT station. August 19th, there you go.
August 19th, okay.
Yeah, that was before
Yeah.
football and everybody started.
That's dead time.
Right, okay. Yes, I mean, to be honest with you, no disrespect at all, but Darien empties out the first 2 weeks in August. With regards to this whole traffic volume growing thing, I don't really get that. You know, they're not making more cars, and if they are making more cars, they're more electric cars versus gas cars. So why do you grow traffic volumes 2% every year? I mean,
Well,
we had this whole discussion during COVID when it dropped to like a rock.
Right,
And then
that's,
people didn't know what was going on.
yeah, 2% per year is extremely conservative. In this area, it's usually about like 0.5% per year, and that's just to take into account general growth in the area. So from other developments and just people moving there, that kind of
Population
stuff.
growth. We're adding how many
Additional
units?
people driving here
Cars.
for
That's
work
more
that
people
might
on
have
the road.
changed jobs, that kind of stuff, so.
You
But 2% is very
Ask your average
conservative,
driver
so.
around here about 0.5%. I think they'll tell you you're crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a lot higher.
yeah.
okay.
Okay, all right, so you want more information to analyze more stuff?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. All right, go right ahead.
One point of clarification on the site-generated traffic numbers. Yes, the background numbers in our table are guesstimates based on the ITE, based on the land uses and the size of those developments. When we counted, none of that traffic was on the roadway because the existing gas station was not operating. So we added 100% of the new traffic to the intersection, with the 50%
Yep.
adjusted. So we assumed the existing site had 0 traffic, and all the traffic from this development was brand new. So if it was 15 or 20 new trips, we've accounted for that because every trip was a new trip for this new development.
Clarification.
Just to be.
That's an important
Now, the
clarification.
2% growth rate, as you said, there's a residential development going on down the street. Do we account for that? Well, yes, we got the traffic reports for that. We looked at it, and the traffic report says, well, when you take away what used to be there and add what's going to be there, that's going to have actually less traffic than the previous thing had. Now, it happened to be a vacant lot at the time we did the counts, but the 2% growth rate that we use says there's other things going on. There's a Big Y 12 miles from here. There's a Walmart 22 miles from there. And some of those people go by here. And there'll be some of that going on over the next couple of years. So we'll add a 2% growth rate to what we observed, and that'll take care of all the other stuff that we don't know about or couldn't think about or whatever. So it's just conservative, because basically the DOT says, when you're done analyzing this thing, does it work? So we try to add all those things in.
No, it
Now,
sounds
in-
like you were very conservative in your assumptions.
In terms of doing new counts and new analysis, I'll stipulate for the record that the queuing analysis on whatever counts we do are going to tell us that the queues from the traffic signal back up across the site driveways under the background conditions. They're going to continue to do so under the combined conditions, and they're going to do so during the morning, afternoon, and Saturday peak hours. So if your concern is, let's get new traffic numbers, do new counts, do new analysis, so we can see whether or not the queue is going to back up. I'm telling you right now, that queue is going to back up across those driveways during those hours. So if that's your concern, rather than ask us to go out, spend lots of time, effort, and money getting new numbers, getting new analysis, if you're going to restrict the turning movement or want to put up a sign, you're going to make us do it after we do the analysis or whether we do the analysis. So I would say, rather than put us off till next month, make us spend another $2,500 doing counts that we know the answer is going to be. I would suggest, if the commission feels comfortable with it, I would propose to make your stipulations at this time.
Yeah,
Might be
we
helpful to
just
the-
have to make sure the file's full. We have to make sure the file's full and then all the T's are good. If our consultant wants it, our consultant. When you met with the police department or the legal traffic authority, was there anything that popped up from that meeting?
I have not met with the legal traffic authority.
Who met with the Legal Traffic Authority?
No one, there's no letter in here.
No one did.
Really?
No.
Huh.
Typically, they're provided copies of the reports.
Did we not refer to them?
We did refer it to them, however, we have not received comments from them.
Okay.
But it was referred to them.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so we're waiting on that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
We
All right.
can,
Double check.
No, I thought they were here. I know they're coming. I thought they were here, but I didn't, okay. Okay, that's fine. We have to see what those guys say too. We're enough with traffic for now?
Yep.
All right. Site plan, man. Are you good so far? You all right over there?
Yeah. I'll see how this goes.
Welcome.
James DeMeo. My company's name is Connecticut Aerial Drone Surveys. We're located at 1 McConney Grove in Derby. All right, I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can and try to foresee everything here. So, as was previously discussed, existing building, garage in back. As you can see, the garage in the rear is actually it's like 2 feet off of the rear property line.
Yep.
There's retaining walls that hold back everything to the side. So our site is actually lower than all the rest back in that area. Existing pumps are here. The fuel tanks are essentially in this area here.
So where are the fill holes? On top of the tank?
Yes, yeah. So this is a concrete pad right here, this outline.
Yep.
It's in that pad.
Okay. That concrete pad's not moving, it's staying?
Correct.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Correct. So the concrete pad is staying.
Yeah.
We're extending some additional concrete in this direction to accommodate the new pumps. We have our main parking for the convenience store now directly in front of it. Previously, all the parking was on the side, so now instead of people having to walk through the parking lot where vehicles are circulating and refueling, there's a sidewalk right there. They're able to access the building, but obviously safer for pedestrians. We have our dumpster location off of Sedgwick Avenue. We have pretty much a lot more landscaping. We are reducing the amount of impervious area by almost 11%, 10.8. So we are reducing all of that. We will have a sidewalk that'll go around with some HVAC units in the back. The main push for us to go and get the variances for the rear setback. So, and this goes into pump orientation.
I'm not really worried about that.
No, but I'm going through the logic of why our pumps are oriented the way that they are and everything else. So we opted to go for the variances to push the building back. So we had more space between Boston Post Road, so we have a full 24-foot wide drive aisle, so 2 directions. Our pumps, again, we actually have 29, so we have a little bit more in between the pumps and the parking, and then 18 feet for the parking spaces. So this allows for 2-way traffic both above and below the pumps. So what will end up happening, and the reason why we did that is, so all the pumps that are stacked the way that it's currently situated and how you're seeing it on a lot of the other properties, they may not have as much space as we do here. So typically what you'll end up with is the vehicle refueling here, and then you'll have just a pass-by lane. So you have just enough room for one vehicle to pass by in the event that a vehicle's parked there. We have enough room now for 2-way traffic. So we're able to allow for vehicles to pull in off the post road, and the drivers will be able to scan the open areas, and then they can adjust to whichever pumps they need based upon where they're fueling, which side of the vehicle they have to fuel from. Worst comes to worst, even if their side is not available, they can drive around and have plenty of room to loop back around. We're not dealing with the stacking. So when you have them also parallel, what ends up happening is the first car pulls in when it's open, starts fueling, second car pulls in. Then the third car comes, and now they're waiting. And now they're blocking all the traffic. Whereas at least now we can service 6 vehicles in any, like at any time, any configuration, vehicles are able to get around. Whereas previously, if a vehicle, so the pumps are here. So if a vehicle is stacked here, anybody coming off the Boston Post Road gets stuck. And then people start backing out into Boston Post Road. At least this way now, we have enough space on site to allow for stacking internally and gets them out of the standard flow of traffic.
No, I think the question also is, we've proven or stated that the convenience store is going to be more volume than the pumps.
Yeah.
Right, so we got 10 parking spaces for the convenience store and 6 for the pumps, for a total of 16. So tell me how I come off the Post Road when I'm coming from Home Depot and I want to get a Slurpee from you guys. How am I going in? I'm not buying gas.
I don't even know Home Depot. Is Home Depot this way, in this direction?
Home Depot's that way.
Oh, the other way?
You're going this way.
Oh, so travel this way.
I'm going
you're
east to
traveling
west,
east. You're traveling
back to my
west.
house.
I don't know where you live.
Everybody here knows where I live. trust me.
Traveling west on the Post Road.
All right, so there's enough room, so we'll also have enough space along the side, so anybody who comes in.
No, I'm coming from the other way. I'm coming from.
All right, well, either way, so let's look at this way first. So if you come in, you're gonna have enough room to just come in off the Boston Post Road and just go right around these pumps and park. You'll also have the ability to drive all the way around and come up. Same thing with this entrance and this one. If you're coming from the other direction, Sedgwick also, it really doesn't get more appealing. So you're gonna go through the intersection and you'll be able to come in and you'll be able to just basically go 180, come back and loop around, or you can just go parallel to Boston Post Road and go the far way around. That's the thing, is we have enough room for two-way traffic all around these pumps. So it's not just in one spot, or we have no one-way traffic. Everything is two-way, plenty of room to get around. That was one of the drivers for this layout.
Now you have the arrows on the pumps pointing one way.
Yeah, that's just
nothing?
yeah. That was just for pictorial representation, and just that doesn't actually mean anything.
I get it.
But yeah, so essentially we have two-way traffic all the way around. So people can come from any direction, get around. Even if, for whatever reason, if a vehicle came this way and was waiting for, let's say, spot 11 here, and they're taking up some space, anybody else can either go around the other way and find a parking space. Like this layout provided us with the most, opportunities to avoid congestion on site.
Can you hold on one second?
Yes, sir.
Veronica, do you agree with all this?
I mean,
I'm serious, because if you say yes, then we're
With the
good. If you
two-way-
say no,
two-way internal circulation, I do agree with. It does lay out better. The one thing I am concerned with is if multiple vehicles come in this way and then you get a couple stacking behind, then you get a couple queued out onto Route 1. That's my one concern.
but what I would do is I would go to the traffic light, make a left and a left.
You could do that too.
But
If people will do that if they notice the queue, so they will just bypass it.
Right, I'm just gonna bypass
Yeah.
both.
the counter to that too is also if there's a vehicle fueling here and then somebody behind it stacking and then a third person stacking, anybody coming off the Post Road, they're just gonna drive right around them.
Right, that's if
And
you're
then
going.
come around
Do you know what I,
this one or
yeah,
this
yeah,
one,
and they can come into any single one.
Yeah.
So by having 24-foot wide aisles and not just one little pass by, it opens us up to alleviating there shouldn't be anybody stacking on the Post Road, and if there is, I'd be worried about the license.
Right, that's where the police department was adamant about it on Tokeneke Road, and I'm surprised they haven't said anything about it yet, but you gotta get their son up. Those pads where the pumps are, how long are they?
Are you talking like just where I'm showing
11,
these
12,
spaces?
13, 14, 15, how long are those?
Oh, I'm calling those out as standard parking spaces, so 9 by 18 is what I'm showing for that rectangle. So
Okay.
So basically, I'm
Same.
showing a regular parking space,
Okay.
but obviously, they'll be ended up with more.
But I got 24 feet between the parking space, which is wide enough for 2 cars, because the car is only, what, 10 feet wide tops? 8 feet? really?
Less, yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
8 feet
8
wide.
or
Okay.
7, change 8.
Okay.
So if they are stacked on the north side, you could still do a 3-point turn to get out of the convenience store parking lot. You're not interfering with that because you've got
29 feet. So you'll have plenty of room to back fully out. It's not even gonna be, yeah, it's just.
Yeah, that's
back
what
fully
they're not
out
going
and
to,
go.
even if one is stacked there, you're still fine.
Correct. Correct.
That's good, I think the layout works.
Um,
George, questions on this?
No, thank you.
I have one question. Where's the dumpster? Because on the call out, it's on the upper left corner.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, that's the Starbucks dumpster.
Is that the Starbucks?
Oh, this is
dumpster?
Starbucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is
Okay, I was
Starbucks
a little
dumpster.
confused by that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I saw that
So,
proposed,
so
but
our property
labeled up
does have the green landscaping all around, so we're landscaping all the way up. This is, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a double line just outside this green. That's Starbucks edge of pavement, so that's their curbing right there, so they're right up against the property line as well. So we're actually, for the most part, we're providing additional buffer as well.
Where are the tank vent pipes? Are they still there?
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
rid of
so
those?
so they're still in this area right here.
No, they're on the property line.
Or what-
There's,
Which ones?
Currently, the vent pipes are
12-foot pipes.
located right here.
Right.
Oh,
Are you
those,
moving them?
sorry.
Are you moving them? Do they going away, or do they stay where they are?
You're gonna have to have them, yeah.
Okay. And then why is, it's fine by me, but why is there so much green grass in the back behind the dumpster? What are you gonna do back there?
We're just turning it back into landscaping. So instead of paving it or anything like that, we're trying to just
You ever get off on
restore it back as best as we can.
There's no grass at Little Rock gas station. No,
Let your
it's
dog out.
sand, dude. Because, I mean, I would move the dumpster back further and get another parking space in front of that.
So we're utilizing this also as like a loading space.
Yep.
And then if we start pushing this back, one, we wouldn't be able to utilize it as a parking space because we're not gonna have a dumpster behind any parking spaces. Because we need to be able to access it at all times. So it's like, the only thing would be the loading space, which is why we have it there. So then to push it further back, all we're doing is adding more concrete.
Because that wall's, what, 12 feet back there, 10 feet back there? In that one corner?
Yeah, it's pretty high, yeah.
Yeah. So it's dead space, no one's ever gonna go back there. Because
Yeah,
that's where he's got all his tires now, and the boat. The boat's in
I
there.
promise the boat is gone and
Boat's
there
gone,
won't be any more
right?
boats and yes, it's gone.
We are trying to reduce the amount of impervious on the site, so
That's fine.
as best as we can. So if it's not needed to go all the way back there, obviously we don't want it.
Okay, Sam, do you have any questions?
I have one more. It's the height of the retaining wall. How high is that in the back?
Yeah, so this retaining wall is existing and we're not touching it.
Okay.
You're gonna paint it, right?
What was that?
You're gonna paint it?
Well, I mean, we're pretty much hiding it. How tall are we? I believe we are 59.
Approximately 8 feet.
Yeah, about 8 feet.
But you're not,
It rises from 4 up to 8, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much in this corner, we're about 8 feet right in this corner.
but the one you're adding, how high is that?
Oh, we're only adding where the existing the existing garage is. I mean, if,
The garage held back the wall?
yeah, the garage is part of that wall. So,
Right.
like that's what it is. So we're just basically, when we tear down the garage, we're gonna make sure that that's still good. If we need to do something to it, then we're gonna kind of touch that back up, but it's staying right there.
Do we need to have that engineered? Because
The building department will.
Yeah, that's not up.
Yeah. So
Any wall before.
That's gonna
That's
be
what I'm
under the
saying,
building
yeah, we
department.
usually get, for retaining walls.
There's another engineer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was my only concern, because I just thought it was a pretty high retaining wall.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we gotta do?
All right, so aside from that, I mean, that's, we have our underground detention in the front.
Is there any stormwater retention there now?
No,
It's got nothing.
No. So there's nothing there now. All there is are, there's an existing catch basin. There is just existing catch basins to pipes. So we have an existing catch basin in the front here. And we have catch basin here, and there's actually a catch basin right here. So basically these catch basins collect all the water, and then they're discharged off the site. So we're really not changing the direction of water or anything like that. Our proposal is keeping it the same, which I'll go into a little bit more detail in a second. Aside from that, again, we're proposing 2 new catch basins in the front, a water quality unit, like an oil water separator before it hits our detention, and then we're basically piping it out the existing direction that it's currently going. We're trying to comply with the Darien's design manual. For gas stations, they want all mechanical means and stuff like that for water quality. Yep. Standard sediment and erosion control. So pretty much the only other thing I'm going to go through really fast is the town engineer's comments. Nothing was too major. His first comment, I did analyze the existing conditions as what they are, but because we're demoing it, it's been requested that I model it as a meadow. Again, it shouldn't really change too much. I already kind of have a pretty conservative approach. Under the existing conditions, drainage was piped onto the private property to the Starbucks property. After me, the attorney's also going to talk about this, but basically these are existing pipes, so we kind of have prescriptive rights already, but we are also in talks with, or attempting to talk with that property owner. But again, it's where it's going already. We don't have to upgrade it. We don't have to do anything else.
Which pipes are you talking about?
So there's a 10-inch HDPE right here, and then there's another existing pipe that was off the existing catch basin here, which we're gonna basically put a manhole there and cut that one, because we're not going to utilize the one in the front anymore. All of it's going to be to the back.
Okay.
The proposed canopy for fueling, that will be routed to the underground system. So I just got to update on that on the plans as per the comment. Same thing with the roof leaders from the building, same thing.
Is there a canopy there now?
Yes.
Yes.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not changing that?
We're going to enlarge it, yes.
Okay. And those are the footings in the canopy in front, the black squares?
No.
No, so the...
No.
Oh, yes, these little black squares.
No, the very front in the driveway.
Oh, these are catch basins.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are catch basins to try to collect any water before it goes back into Boston Post Road. I mean, this is a relatively flat site, so don't have a lot of areas to catch it, but one's there already now, and then we're pretty much going to add a second one at the other entrance just as a extra precaution.
Okay.
I gotta update my detail for the stormwater system to match the drainage report. Basically, on the detail, I just have to add extra stone on the detail around the unit to reflect exactly what was in the report. So that's a very minor comment as well. It is recommended that we put a liner around the underground system. So this system is not meant for infiltration. We're literally using it to hold back the water before it leaves the site. That's the whole intention of this system. So because of that and it being on a gas station, it's been requested that to wrap it in a liner so that it doesn't contaminate the ground. Again, if I have no objections, I'll just update the detail with that. I gotta provide the Darien's DCIA tracking form. However, we are reducing the amount of impervious area, so it's going to show, favorably on that at least. consider adding 2 bollards inside the dumpster enclosure to prevent the dumpster from damaging the fence? Absolutely. The rear building to be demolished, which back here there's some concrete steps. This is actually a town-owned passway, so we'll talk about that. But the question was, would we need an easement? But again, it's a town-owned passway that's back there.
We grant easements left and right, Larry.
Yeah.
To where?
The town has, for many, many, many years, owned what was referred to as a cow path behind the gas station and Starbucks. And there was a proposal in the late 1990s to relinquish that. And the RTM said, no, we are not relinquishing that piece of town land. But the town's going to.
So if you trip and fall on it, you hit a home run.
Yeah.
There's a little gate, isn't there, to walk through? Just going in.
Question is, when's the next cattle drive?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Go over to CCD, their logo's a cattle.
Does it go all the way through to Mansfield?
I don't think it goes all the way through.
No, because then you'd hit the back parking lot of the pizza place.
It does go beyond Starbucks.
It goes like a little bit beyond Starbucks, but not much further than that.
Huh.
Dude's been
It's
around
about
for
5
30
feet
years.
wide.
He knows all the hidden
Yeah.
secrets. Where's the pylon sign?
Pylon?
For like the main sign for the gas station?
Yeah,
It would be,
$2.95 a gallon, that sign.
yeah, it'd be pretty much in the exact same spot.
Currently,
$3.95 a gallon?
it's just the Shell logo right now. The main IDs, or the pricing sign will be on the building, just like I think every single pricing sign in Darien is on the building.
Okay.
The ARB was very clear in terms of where the signage is. Some signage will be on the building, and the main sign will not have prices on it.
Okay, is there signage on the canopy though?
No.
There's no price on the canopy?
There's no pricing on the canopy. There, obviously, the price will be above the pumps. But it will not be on
The little small dinky sign that are digital now. Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, we're definitely. Okay,
The price sign will be on the building. And
so
then
there's
above
no pylon sign, stanchion sign anywhere on the site?
There is a
Like a road
monument sign currently where it's just the Shell logo.
Okay,
And that's
it's not on this one though.
that's the old one.
The old plan.
That's the old rendering for sure.
From the ARB, it sounds like the ARB totally redid the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
they
did a
did.
couple submissions.
We said it hit Canis. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, and there's no price on that, just a shell?
No, just the Shell pack.
It's not gonna say standard convenience or anything like
No,
that?
it's just gonna the Shell.
Okay, that's fine. All right, you're all set, right?
Yep, so, there's one additional comment about extending the fence that's on top of this retaining wall through this, yes.
Okay, that's a building department thing.
At this point, it's just another call out, so yes.
All right. Joe Canis, you're up. Thank you.
Hey, good evening. For the record, Joseph Canis, I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of Connecticut, principal engineer with Ty and Bond. We're retained by the commission for the review of the stormwater management and sediment erosion control aspects of the application. We issued a letter dated October 24th with 10 comments. And overall, the applicant's certainly on the right track with stormwater management and sediment erosion controls. Actually, I don't think we had any sediment erosion control comments. Stormwater management, the existing site, as Mr. DeMeo previously testified, there's nothing there in terms of stormwater management, so anything they do here is going to be an improvement. And they did build, some levels of belts and suspenders into their design. They have the water quality unit, they have the detention system, which is going to be wrapped in plastic to prevent infiltration of whatever stormwater does get captured on the site because as a service station is considered a stormwater hotspot, you don't want to infiltrate that runoff, just because, you know, the incidental dripping of oils and things like that, which is why that water quality unit also exists. Probably the most significant comment that we had was this, because it is a tear down, it's subject to the fresh meadow approach. The balance, the other comments are, you know, are very minor, you know, just minor plan changes, nothing that's going to change the design intent. But I did want to also mention that the applicant did, put some more conservative elements in their design that weren't required. For example, the time of concentration that they used was pretty short. They used something that they didn't need to. They could have gone with something, that would have made it easier for them to design. The other thing also, they did design the system so that for over control of the 2-year storm, which is basically take the 2-year storm and under existing conditions, and your proposed conditions has to meet 50% of that peak runoff. That's a requirement of the new state manual, and it's also a requirement of the new town manual, except in cases where the fresh meadow concept applies, because that, just would be too high of a bar. But they did meet that over control, so I don't expect the design to change all that much in terms of stormwater. So they're definitely on the right track here, and it's definitely going to be a vast improvement over what's there now.
That's for sure. Okay. Any questions for Joe? Nope. We're good.
How much water discharges into that pipe that goes to the neighboring property?
I don't know. I don't have the number offhand. I don't know.
Because, they're going to retain a lot more water, right? So
Right.
they're going to use that pipe a lot more.
But the roof line, the roof is getting smaller.
Right. There's also less impervious cover on the site.
Less
Yeah.
impervious coverage is less
Right.
roof area.
Yeah.
You're going from 37.5 to 28, using 1,000 square feet of roof. But the canopy, did you include the canopy? As the canopy is getting bigger.
So to simplify it, when the engineers, we talk about impervious area, we're talking about roofs, concrete, pavement, all of it. So in total, we're reducing what's currently there by the 10.8%, so almost 2,000 square feet of impervious area total we're reducing.
Okay.
So
But you're going to catch more water from the top of the canopy,
We're going to,
because the canopy's getting bigger.
the current design actually captures all of it.
Okay.
Whereas previously, and we're trying to treat it, all of it as well, whereas previously none was treated, it was
running
just
off.
captured and sent.
Right. So when you capture the water inside the Caltech, where's it going?
It's still going where it would.
Which is
go.
the pipe to Starbucks or the pipe
Correct.
to the street?
Correct, so Starbucks.
See, my concern is that right now, more of it sheet flows, let's say, just into the post road. And in this system, more of it will be captured, but directed into the pipe.
Well, let's have these two guys cash it out.
Correct, and that's why, so when I analyze this, I'm still reducing the amount of water that's going to this pipe in general. So one, I'm eliminating the amount of water going into the post road, and because of my approach, I'm already reducing how much is going to their total as well.
So it's going down, not up. It's contrary to what you say.
The amount of water is going down just because of the sheer reduction in impervious area. And then I'm also controlling it so we're not surging that pipe either.
So
And you're reducing it because you're storing more in the Caltech?
Yeah. So these are concrete galleys.
Or whatever.
Yeah, so these, again, it's designed so that it holds it and slowly releases it.
Right.
So that's why this is so big, is literally just to slow that water leaving the site. Because we're a gas station and we're not utilizing infiltration, it's not getting rid of any water or reducing it. So our whole reduction is based upon the fact that we're reducing impervious area. So that's our primary reduction in water, is because of that.
Right.
The other thing I'll add too, when they take into account the fresh meadow approach under Section 883, right? What they're modeling, what the condition that they have to meet, as if that site were completely undeveloped, right? So they're going to be having to be held to a much, as if that site was undeveloped right now.
right? So they can't take any credit for the impervious coverage that's there. So, so they're starting at a much lower point.
I'm still hoping we'll be all right.
What's that?
I'm still hoping, with that approach, I'm hoping that we still will be okay.
You still have to do that.
Yeah, again, we just got the comments on Friday.
Yeah.
But I believe that we hopefully will not have to change the size of the underground, mainly due to the fact that I over-designed it by adhering to the current stormwater manual of having to reduce by 50%.
Got it.
So I still think we're there.
If that pipe weren't there, what would you do?
So our alternative would be to essentially pipe it to here. So this catch basin has a stormwater pipe that runs across the front. We would have to come straight down, doghouse a manhole on it, and discharge
Into the post road.
Yeah.
Okay, we good with these guys? You're pretty much set, right? Okay, hold on. Anyone in the general public like to speak to this application? Seeing none, I think we're okay. It sounds like we're keeping this open.
Yeah, I think the commission needs to make clear what submittals they need, and then we can ask the applicant how much time they need to get back to you, and make a determination on which meeting may be possible.
Oh, okay, you're saying between the 10th and the 11th, something.
Yeah, it's going to be the 18th, because the 10th is booked.
Okay.
Or the 25th. The 18th, I think everything need to be done. You need to get Joe time to review what's submitted. That's like 3 weeks.
Okay.
But you need to tell these gentlemen what you need, and they can come back to you with, although Amy won't be here on the 18th, I'm hopeful that Jamie will.
We definitely need comments from the legal or local traffic authority.
Okay.
So they have to chime in, and they're going to send those comments to their traffic engineer and our traffic engineer, right? Veronica wants to look at the new traffic stuff.
New traffic data.
Right? And then I think Canis and I think Mr. DeMayo are okay.
Yeah, Mr. DeMayo's got to do some work, and then Joe's got to review what he does.
Right. So, sir, how much more time do you think your team needs?
To the extent that the next available meeting is the 18th.
Right.
I think we can meet that.
You meet the 18th? That'd probably be better for you guys. We're already working on
If they
it.
review it, get their comments back by the 18th.
Canis can review
That's
stuff.
the question.
Yeah. Well, Veronica's got a whole squad of people that work for her.
What do we?
Yeah, if we get it.
We need some clarity on that pipe.
Yeah, Mr. Case is going to get us clarity on the pipe as well.
Let me explain just by way of background.
Go ahead.
This was originally one parcel. Before, the Starbucks site and 805 was one parcel. The piping was put in when it was one parcel. When it was subsequently subdivided, no one created an easement. It's been there, our best estimate is over 50 years. And it continues to be used. That's why you heard the use of prescriptive easements. We're also prepared, I will tell you, we've reached out to the owners of the Starbucks site, and we're in discussions about papering an easement. If that's unacceptable to you, we're willing to accept a condition that if that pipe is no longer available, then we would install a pipe directly out, as the engineer has pointed out, to the post road.
Okay. And when you find out it's quote unquote no longer available, is that because you can't paper the easement?
No, they've got rights to it.
We believe we have rights to it, but if something happens and Starbucks is successful in stopping us from using that, or the owners of that site are successful, then we'd be happy to repipe it out to.
Okay. Because most of the time it ends up being a maintenance issue.
Agreed.
Right, the pipe gets clogged, who's cleaning?
We're happy to accept a condition that we will maintain it and be responsible for restoring it to its current condition.
Yes, but you're not going to restore it on somebody else's property.
if we get the easement, that's what, we're willing to
Okay.
accept that
And then you
responsibility.
gotta rip up their parking lot, and that's
Right.
fine. Okay, all right, that's fine, we can make that decision.
So if everyone's comfortable, we can continue this to Tuesday, November 18th, 7 PM, auditorium.
You got it, so you're getting the comments on the 17th. Okay. You're working OT. I mean, Caddis, he can get it done in 2 seconds. You're gonna get your comments done probably tomorrow, I know you.
This week.
Yeah, I figured that. All right, that's
7 PM.
all right, so this hearing's gonna be postponed, or continued to the 18th of November.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's a Monday?
It's a Tuesday,
Okay.
7 PM, auditorium.
I'll be in Purdue on the 17th, so I'll be back for this.
Very good.
Oh, basketball.
Win or lose.
Fantastic, yeah. Thank you, everybody. All right, next item on the agenda is business site plan application number 24 -A1, is that right? Okay. Special permit flood zone prevention application number 440B, also known as PL 25-153, Tesla Inc. at 25 Old Kings Highway North, Old Kings Market, proposed to establish a new electronic vehicle charging station consisting of 3 pre-assembled superchargers with a total of 12 charging posts and the associated switchgear and transformer. The charger are proposed to utilize existing parking stalls along the northern portion of the property. The 9.49 plus minus acres subject property is located is located on the southeast cut of Old Kings Highway North, approximately 150 feet southeast of its intersection with Brookside Road, shown on Assessor's map number 71 as lot 19 in the design commercial zone.
The application was submitted in conformance with section 820,000 and 1020 of the zoning regulations. Portion of the property they're putting in the installation is in the flood zone, and it's also a site plan and special permit application. The application is to install 12 Tesla vehicle charging posts on the north side of the Old Kings Market property. Think of where the Historical Society is, all the way in the back, basically along that property line, with 3 associated superchargers. Transformer and switchgear will be installed on an elevated steel platform at elevation 49.6, which is 1 foot above the base flood elevation of AE flood zone 48.54. Been structurally certified by Dewberry Engineers. The critical equipment, including the transformer, switchgear, been elevated to put that 1 foot of freeboard in. The charging posts are flood tolerant to 40 inches, and a water sensor will shut down the system if activated during a flood. ZBA variance was granted on November 13, 2024 for a rear yard setback and installation of the charging station on the platform, 7.7 feet in lieu of 50 feet. EPC did review it as well. There's a little bit of wetlands in that green buffer area between the 2 properties. And so that was approved by EPC in August of 2025. Application was referred out to Joe Canis Ty and Bond, noting no further information requested. You may have seen that in his October 6th memo. And the Connecticut DEP said in their October 23rd email that they had no comments. No comments were received from the fire marshal, building department, or local traffic authority. So Tesla's been working on this for quite a while, as you can tell. It's been an interesting design because you've run into a flood zone. They wanted to find a place on this property for chargers, and the whole property's in the flood zone. And they're going to find the best spot, kind of out of the way, find a spot for the transformer that's not too prominent. So they put that in the back of the property. There's wetlands back there, so it's been a series of finding the best location. And I think we have a good location. The location now, the design is flood-proof. We are comfortable with it, and so we have the folks here from, I believe it's Scott or Scott?
I'm Ted.
Ted.
Yes.
Apologies. Ted Crawford from Dewberry. who's been working with us off and on, as I said, for well over a year, and can certainly describe the desire to put these chargers at the old Kings Market lot.
Fantastic. On green.
And there's the one non.
Welcome, sir.
With Dewberry Engineers, licensed professional engineer, I'm here to represent the applicant Tesla for the installation of the electric vehicle charging at 25 Kings Highway, Old Kings Highway. Just to give you a quick overview of the project, I think you kind of hit everything just now, so I don't want to go over and over again. But essentially, we are looking to install 3, they call them prefabricated units, PSUs, because each one consisting of 4 charging stations or 4 charging dispensers, so a total of 12 on the north side of the property, and existing parking lots and existing spots.
So it's 12, you take 12 parking spaces.
Right, we're utilizing 12. There is some confusion, or there was some discussion. Years ago, Tesla used to install these and say they're dedicated. That's no longer the fact. So an internal combustion engine, any vehicle can park here. There's no signage that says it's electric only. So it's the idea is we're not taking away any existing parking. So we just hope that non-EV vehicles would choose to park in another spot. This is also an open network system, so all vehicles can charge there, not just Tesla. So historically, years ago, when these first came online, a lot of times they were proprietary just to Tesla. Now they're open networks. So any vehicle can park there. We did go through a couple of changes just to kind of give you the history of the project. We have to take power from the east part of the property here, right in this location here. And to do that, due to the flood conditions and the flood-based flood elevation, we had to lift our transformer and our switchboards and all that equipment. We initially proposed a earth mound to put that equipment on, but however, due to the flooding conditions, that was punted, and we went with a steel structure. Because of its a steel structure, it was located within the setback. The setback required us to get a variance. So we did get that last year, and that's how we ended up with this structure in that location. Unfortunately, that's the best location for us to grab power from. There's an existing power pole in that area, and we're going underground to the new transformer and the power and the switchboard here. Then the power travels underground to our charging stations here, and they're located at grade.
Do
Sorry.
those conduits exist already to get you from the power station, or you're going to be pulling up that parking to get your conduit?
It's actually in the grass. We're going to go in the lawn area,
Okay.
yeah. And it's going to be underground buried and then repaired and reseeded. ZBA requested that we provide a screening fence to the north side of the platforms. We've added a fence in this location here. You can see it.
That's to the back of the office building?
Yeah. Well, there's an existing fence. It's kind of in rough condition, so we're going to add a new fence there and some plantings. So, and then during this process, we went out and flagged the wetlands because we knew there might have been some wetlands between 95 and the site. There's an existing drainage corridor there, probably just created by the earth fill of the 95, and we found a smaller pocket in the grass area on the north side of the property. So we flagged that. We've added some additional plantings and screenings around that as well. And recently were approved through EPC this summer. So.
Just explain, did you have a picture of the chargers? How do you get 4 cars on one charger?
Each space has its own. So yeah, there's we have a.
I mean, every one I've ever seen is each car has got serviced by, it's one charger per 2 cars.
So this is one charger per 1 car, one charger per stall. The confusion, I guess,
But you said there's 4 chargers. No, you said there's 3 chargers for 4 stalls.
Yeah, there's 3 prefabricated units.
Yeah.
Basically, there are these long units here. Basically, that's one prefabricated unit right in here. And on each one of those units, there's 4 charging posts.
okay.
and then 1 post per stall.
Okay.
So it's just a simpler installation. Basically, it comes in on a flatbed, they crane it over, they put it back down.
Okay.
There's less work. Basically, it all comes packaged unit. Basically, yeah, you just plug it in and make it work. So we do provide an ADA accessible space. Now, it's not intended to be an ADA, it is designed to the ADA standards, but it's really for ADA charging. So you can back up your car, and if you needed a wheelchair or something to get around to the back of the vehicle, you can get to the post and charge. So.
Just curiosity, I'm guessing the property owner, Brixmore, is all over this? They approved everything too?
Yeah. Well, there's a lease associated with this that Tesla engages with the property owner.
Right.
We started a while ago on this.
Yeah.
We kind of worked through a couple hiccups on our end. So.
With regards to the platform in the back, does that inhibit any trucks to the back of the building?
No, we're utilizing existing lawn area.
Okay.
And we're just lifting it up to get it out of the flood. So the flood elevation.
Because we just approved a urgent care unit in that shopping center, and they're going to use that exit too.
Okay. Yeah. We're basically
grass. It's not on asphalt.
It's on grass.
Got it.
Yep.
This is pretty straightforward if you ask me. We can ask Kenneth what's going on. Is he here?
Joe's here.
Yes. Do you have any questions for the engineer? George?
No, sir.
No, I don't think we need to ask Joe, he saw his memo.
You good? Okay. Joe, you good?
I'm good, yeah.
Where do I get my Tesla?
Yeah, we're in good shape. This is a great idea.
Joe.
Okay.
We'll wait for a while. Anybody in the general public want to speak to this application? Craig Flaherty's here. You want to say anything, sir?
Looks great.
Good. All right. Charges.
With that said,
Note one comment for the electric charging from public.
he's a resident.
NACS adapter, so I look forward to it.
Oh.
Could I enter a motion to close the hearing? Adam makes a motion, looking for a second. Amy makes a second. All in favor? Hearing's closed. Hearing's closed. Depending on time, you might get your, okay. Deliberate and not vote. We're going to shut. But then it's not working. This has been on and off for well over a year.
Freaking these guys with charging stations for 12 spots, my God.
And that parking lot's overparked, because I know when we told you. All right, great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good job. Next on the hit parade, subdivision application number 224A is an Apple, land filling regrading application number 596, also known as PL 25-144, Brian and Tiffany Van Elslander?
Van Elslander.
Van Elslander, thank you. I'm thinking names.
Might not be spelled right.
It is now. At 769 Hollow Tree Ridge Road, proposal to subdivide the property into 2 building lots, respectively 2.27 acres and 2.60 acres, plus or minus acres in size. The existing single-family dwelling will remain on lot number 1, and the new single-family dwelling with associated site improvements is proposed for lot number 2. The new driveway will be constructed to provide access to lot 1, while the existing curb cut will provide access to lot 2. Each lot will be served by new on-site septic systems and stormwater management. Site regrading and related site development activities are proposed. The 5.4 plus or minus acre subject property is located on the west side of Hollow Tree Ridge Road, approximately 240 feet south of its intersection with Bridle Trail. It's shown on Assessor number 3 as lot 59 in the R2 residential zone. Gentlemen, what do we got?
So, Wilder Gleason for Brian.
Wilder, hold your powder for a second. Fred, what do you got?
Gentlemen.
Anything special?
Yeah,
Gentlemen,
Steve,
yeah, we're stuck in
Don't get confused.
Steve, as you know, the application is to subdivide the 5.4 acre property into 2 building lots. The existing 6-bedroom residence is to remain with a new 5-bedroom residence plan for lot number 2. A new driveway will be constructed to provide access to lot 1, while the existing curb cut will provide access to lot 2. Lot number 1 will have a net fill of 342 cubic yards. Lot 2 will have 1888 cubic yards of fill, and that's why this is in front of you this evening for landfilling and regrading. Extensive stormwater management systems are proposed on the new lot with new septic systems on both lots and a new well on lot 2. The existing existing septic system is to be abandoned, from what I understand. The application, an applicant is currently before the Environmental Protection Commission with an anticipated decision being rendered the first week in November, November 3rd. The application was referred out to Joe Canis of Ty and Bond. Mr. Canis submitted comments for the record dated October 7th, noting no further information requested from the applicant. He had prior memos that were submitted in connection with the EPC application. Was also referred out to the building department. Mike Vitti, our building official, submitted an email for the record dated September 22nd, noting no issue with the application. The health department issued a letter for the record on September 17th. Jovan Williams, sanitarian for Darien, confirmed that based on the submitted feasibility plan, 2 code compliant septic systems can in fact be installed on both properties, a primary and reserve septic. And a formal septic system plan review application will be the next step for the applicant. No comments received from the fire marshal or local traffic authority on this one. No public comments received on this application either. So we have Wilder Gleason and Craig Flaherty here, representatives of the applicant, to present the application.
Fantastic, thank you, Fred.
Hopefully this will be brief.
Welcome,
Wilder Gleason, representing Brian and Tiffany Van Elslander, and we've got Craig Flaherty. So I'll just do an overview and then Craig will get into the weeds. So we have 5.4 acres, existing house. There's a barn that's going to come down. The curb cut that's here is going to remain, and we'll put a new one in where we subdivide the property. Basically, property is high at Hollow Tree Ridge Road, and water flows down to the pond and then gets migrates downstream. There's going to be no change in drainage. Craig has modeled this several ways. It's been reviewed by Joe, and we're in good shape. There's an existing septic system for this house here. That's going to be abandoned, and we're going to put up a new one here. Craig, do you want to move to the other? Yeah. So here's the configuration of the lots. Okay, and that's the existing house. This barn's going to go away. We're putting the new house here, and there's a fair amount of lawn in here, and 1.17 acres is going to be improved with wetland plantings in the wetlands, which are here. This is the wetland review area, upland review area, and so all of this is going to go from mowed lawn to basically a wetland with wetland plantings. Invasive species are being removed. There will be some mown paths to allow access to the water feature, which is just lovely. And is
that a potted green?
It's not. It's a great idea, though. It could be, though. It's good.
Well, it could be, but it's not. So, new house, new driveway, new septic system here for the existing house, new septic system for the proposed house. And the subdivision configuration conforms to the regs. We are well over the 2 acre minimum in this zone. We lose some countable area because we're less than 75 feet here and here. Oh, you have this, excellent. And here. So the lots for purposes of zoning are less than, like, they don't add up to 5, but we've got an acre to give away, and we're only giving up half an acre. This is half an acre in total. So
in any event, the nice thing about this plan is we're meeting everything in terms of drainage, including the sump pumps from the basement. And the house has been designed carefully so that only one portion of the house has a basement, and the rest is all crawl space. Because we have high water table here.
Right. You have a generator for the basement?
I don't know where the generator is, but there will be one, I'm sure.
You have enough land for it.
I'm not sure we've figured out where that's going to go, but it'll meet setbacks, which is what it has to do.
Right.
The nice thing about this is that there's no stormwater treatment now, and we're going to be fully compliant with not the regs in effect when we applied, but the new regs that became effective in September.
Is this a free cut, Jeremy?
Cut. I don't think it is.
It's not a free cut.
It's not a free cut?
Not a free cut, but we don't have to give up 10% because we are not three times the 2 acre minimum. So we're under that, we avoid the 10% to open space. There's a lot of plantings. We've got over 400 plants and shrubs and everything going into this area, and it's a lot of stuff going on. So the EPC was really happy with this, and it's very clearly going to issue an approval. And so we're looking
Wednesday. Special meeting Monday.
Oh, there's a special meeting.
Monday.
We're still close this tonight?
Yes, that was a question that came up. Because it's just a report from EPC, Planning and Zoning, if you decide to, can close the hearing with the understanding that a report is forthcoming and you'll have it next week.
Because that hearing at EPC is closed.
The hearing is closed. They've instructed staff to draft a resolution to approve, and what staff has said is, while they're set.
I've been discussing with Rick any conditions, and whatever he's talking about, we're fine with.
Okay. George, questions for this one?
Can't think of one.
Pretty
Looks
straightforward.
comprehensive to me.
5.5 acres. You good?
The only question I have is, how close is the septic that's being abandoned to the new septic that's going in? Does that matter at all?
You can actually see it. The answer is no, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it mattered.
But the existing trenches are in the upland review area, between the edge of the wetland and the edge of the upland review area. The new septic is out of the upland review area, uphill of the existing septic.
Okay, so it'll be fresh dirt you're leaching into.
Yes.
Do you fill those in with sand?
But this wasn't even a situation where it was a failure, right?
Right. You're just moving it for
We're doing this because we have to get that system on the new property, and then we have to get a code-complying system on the new property.
Right.
When you abandon them, do you fill them in with sand or you pull them out?
It depends on what they're made of. Leaching trenches can basically be abandoned in place.
Okay. We had that issue on some other application about that.
Just out of curiosity, do septic tanks ever get repurposed for stormwater management in a case like this?
Not in this case. I have done it before.
Just trying to save you money.
I've done it before.
That's a good question.
I'm spending it with the putting green, but she's trying to be nice. I bet she's a putting green there someday. Trust me. You're good with this one? You answered your one question? You want to chime in at all, Craig? You square?
I think you have all the information you need to make a decision.
I think so too. Joe Canis, you might just say 2 thumbs up? You get paid to sit there. He is, right?
Good evening for the record. Joseph Canis, licensed professional engineer in the state of Connecticut, principal engineer at Ty and Bond. We did issue 3 memos on the project as we reviewed it as part of the EPC process. All our comments have been addressed. We're satisfied with the design. It's fully compliant with the stormwater management regulations.
Fantastic. Thank you, Joe. That's great. We did this one for McDermott's or something like that recently. With anyone from general public want to speak to this application? Want to talk in your own application? You good? All right. Entertain a motion to close. Adam makes a motion. Amy makes a second. All in favor? Hearing closed. Good job.
Thank you.
We might deliberate on this one tonight also.
Oh, you might?
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
This thing moving. Look, took the foundation for the problem.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, take care. Sorry about that. All right, let's hit turbo.
Sync over to Herman.
Okay, that's the end of the public hearing. Now we're going to go into the general meeting. Thanks, Craig. We're into the general meeting. Deliberations and possible decision on the following items. Land Filling Regrading Application number 594, also known as PL 25-121, Herman Avenue LLC at 5 Herman Avenue. Proposes to construct a new single-family dwelling in the now vacant lot. Construction of a new driveway and patio area perform related site development activities, including the regrading of the property to accommodate the improvements and installation of stormwater management. The hearing closed on October 7th, 2025. In our packets, electronic or hard copy otherwise, we have a draft resolution for this. This was the two houses that are basically across the street from Brings End, where they're going to take a raw lot, cut it in two, and build two houses. That retaining wall that we discussed at the meeting, does that fall in one application or the other? Do we care about
They
that?
purposely designed the retaining wall to be entirely on one property.
I
It's kind
remember
of
that.
interesting, and Bob Maslin showed it on the screen. One would think the wall would be right on the line, but he purposely put it entirely on one lot.
Is that
So
on-
it would be clear who owns the retaining wall.
Is that on 5 or 3? Do you remember?
Hold on. The answer to that.
5 is the back lot, right?
Yes, it is. 5 is the back lot.
3 is the corner, right?
3 is the closer to the road.
I thought it was on the back lot.
It is on the, here's the plan.
There's 2 retaining walls.
Yeah,
On,
there's east and west and then north and south.
Yes, there's
There-
the one
There's
that
a,
separates.
yeah, the north retaining wall
5 or 3.
is on the eastern property. The
That's 3.
western property line is mostly on the western property, but then it goes through the property line. So you can see the black line here is the proposed property line.
Yeah.
The wall is here, so that's on this property.
That's
Then it
what
goes
property is
here, and that's on this property.
Which one's that? Which
That's-
one's which?
That's
This is
3.
number 3,
Okay.
number 5. So number 5 has this piece of the wall. Number
Right, so
3 has
the resolution we're doing now, we're looking at resolution
And
5.
5 has the one on the back.
You are correct, Amy.
5's got
This
both.
Yeah,
big wall there.
yeah, the big one is in 5.
And that big wall actually,
It's number
Setting
10,
about a
it's
foot
number
from the
10.
property line.
yeah.
It's number 10. 2 retaining walls on the northwest portion of the property will also be on the budding.
We're doing 3 first, correct?
No, we're
No,
doing
we're
5.
doing 5.
That big, the big retaining wall extends on to 3, just in this top area right here.
Right, that's what number 10 says.
Yeah.
That they are proposed to help create level building site. The wall heights range from 0 to 5 feet. That's a fact. Survey. Any typos, comments, scrivener's errors on this one?
We did bring this up in the meeting, that 5 will need an easement from 3 to get to it.
That's correct.
They're owned by the same developer, but there's nothing stopping that guy from getting hit by a bus tomorrow and the family selling off 5, but keeping 3, but then they can't do construction without the easement. So there was some discussion about, is the easement a requirement before construction can even begin?
I think it's
I don't
usually
remember
what,
that, but okay.
what, I've seen, Bob Maslin represented the applicant. Usually what will happen is Bob will put it in 2 different LLCs, and then they'll
Yes, they
do
do.
some cross easements. They'll file this dividing map in the land records with the easement, or it will be a separate map. But we can make a note of that, that before you can get a building permit, or before you get a CO, one of those two.
Before you get a CO.
CO,
Before you
yeah.
get a CO.
It's in there as number 2. Right, an easement on 3 property and the abutting property will provide access Herman Avenue along the northern property boundary.
Yes, that's correct.
So it's already in there. Make it a CO, don't make it you know,
Okay.
building
Yeah.
permit.
Condition. We just want to make
And
sure
that would
that.
be I3
Okay?
on page 5. Add
Yep.
I3.
Yep.
Easement, access
Sell it
easement
before them.
I don't see the door issue.
Nah,
prior to CO.
He's building both of them.
but could be hit by that.
I'm with you 100%.
And Bob gets a
Okay.
couple more billable hours.
And then they do a municipal search, they see this, they see it's a condition of approval, and then they'll,
Yeah. Get the-
contract purchaser will require it to get done.
Yes, you're right, you're right. That's the way things get done.
Okay,
Other than that, no, look good.
so with that said, I entertain a motion to approve this resolution as edited or as amended. Adam makes a motion. Amy
Ignoring
makes a second.
George today.
I'm trying to get him in the game. He's sitting over there. I look left or right, I'm staring at him. Gotta get him in this transcript. All in favor?
4-0.
4-0.
Did George get the second?
No, he didn't. He's not moving.
He's gonna move.
He got it second, didn't he?
He's got an elbow issue.
Three, much more
Excuse me, next
straightforward.
one. All right, next item up for bid. Land Filling Regrading Application number 595, also known as PL 25-122 Herman Avenue, LLC, 3 Herman Avenue, proposed to construct a new single-family dwelling and now vacant lot, construction of a new driveway, retaining walls, and a patio, perform related site development activities, including regrading of the property to accommodate the improvements and installation of stormwater management. The hearing closed on October 7, 2025. In our packets, we have a draft resolution ready for approval. Any questions, comments, typos, scrivener's errors on this one? It's pretty much the same. An easement on the boundary line provided driveway access. So in the easement, talks about it on number 2. Yeah, for creating.
But we don't need that clause here because this one doesn't need the easement to get access from the road.
Right.
Correct.
So this one's fine.
8C of L, this one to change that anyway. With that said, it's like there's no change to this, and let's for a motion to approve as submitted. George makes a motion. Amy makes a second. All in favor? 4-0. All approved. All right, next item up. Special permit application number 312, D as in David, also known as PL 25-147, Make Inspires at 1897 Boston Post Road, proposal to establish a new 1,456 square foot plus minus square foot tutoring establishment within the first floor space of the building previously occupied by Darien Kitchen and Bath. The hearing closed on October 14, 2025. I was not in attendance at that meeting, but I did review the application and saw what was going on. In our packets, we have a draft resolution dated today. Any questions, comments, typos, scrivener's errors on this one? Again, they just need a special permit because of the use, right?
Correct.
And the big thing is just from parking. That's what we really care about. Christian Gray required for loading on site. You don't need loading for tutors. There's 5 parts, we talked about that. Location. So not really doing anything, you're just putting classrooms in the old kitchen space.
Yeah, they're changing the layout slightly, but more or less.
Yeah, it's all interior work and science, got these guys going. Any typos, comments, scrivener's errors on this one?
I don't think we need to include it, but I would recommend to anybody watching, you install a bike rack, as there will be kids riding bikes to this place.
We hope
Yep.
so.
In fact, at the hearing, it was interesting that he said kids will walk over from
Hindley.
and I assume if they've ridden their bike, because Hindley now has many bike racks.
Many bike racks.
Many more than they used to, that those kids will logically bring their bikes.
Well, these dudes are now scootering all over the place. Some kid was popping wheelies going
I
home
got
school front door.
two kids riding on the e-bikes down the Post Road yesterday doing wheelies. They
All right,
must
time
be
out. We gotta
12
get to a Yankee game.
I believe we do
Yeah, seriously.
talk about got bike racks in here.
We do? I didn't see it.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't see it. Cycle.
We would suggest.
Oh, noted that a bicycle could be installed if there's sufficient demand in 3. Yeah, I didn't miss that total. Because you use bicycle, I search for cycle and bike and see it. But anyway, yes.
So no, a cycle can be installed if sufficient demand. Okay, with that said, entertain a motion to approve as submitted. Amy makes the motion, George makes the second. All in favor?
As written.
4-0, as written.
Done.
Okay, next. Special permit application number 312E as in Edward, also known as PL 25-149, Curated Kitchens and Living LLC at 1897 Boston Post Road, proposed to establish a new kitchen showroom and design center with a coffee counter and associated seating areas, selling coffee, beverages, baked goods in a 2,125 plus or minus square foot portion of the first floor space. The hearing closed on October 14th, 2025. Again, I was not at that hearing, but I know exactly what's going on and read all the information relative to it. In our packets, we have a draft resolution. Pretty straightforward. It's the same exact building as the one we just talked about a minute and a half ago. I don't think these guys need bike racks, but you never know.
No, this one was good.
Curated kitchen, so the kitchen and store is moving from one unit to another unit.
Yes.
We approved it last time, might as well approve it this time. And then there's a little coffee bar. Questions, comments, typos, scrivener's errors on this one? No? Okay, with that said or not said, entertain a motion to approve as submitted. Amy makes a motion. Adam makes a second. All those in favor? 4-0. Getting all this, Karen?
Oh, yeah.
Bang it away. All right, we're on a roll now. Next item up for bid, special permit application number 343, land filling and regrading application number 553A, also known as PL 25-119, Daniel and Andrea Presley at 23 Greenleaf, proposed to establish an outdoor sports area including a 1,390 plus minus square foot basketball court with a concrete base, a 14 by 70 batting cage, a 2,340 plus minus square foot artificial turf putting green, and perform related site development activities, including the regrading of the property to accommodate the improvements and installation of stormwater management. The hearing closed on October 14, 2025. Again, I was not at that meeting, but I am familiar with everything that's going on relative to this project. In our packets, we got a very short draft resolution for the application. Any questions, comments, typos, scrivener's errors on this one?
Did I miss it, but did we specifically say applicant represented that there would not be pickleball? Because there was public comment against pickleball, and when they said they were not going to be having a pickleball court here, public did say, I'm fine with the application now that there's not pickleball. So.
There's number 2 says the sports area will be solely used for personal private use. There'll be no lighting or area. It doesn't say anything about pickleball.
Do you want to add a sentence to the end of 2?
They specifically represented that, and the public specifically said they were okay with it because they were representing that they would not have pickleball.
Right.
So I think whether we're prohibiting it or not, I think it needs to be in the record on this that they represented that there would not be pickleball.
So if you go to number 4, public comment, it says the abutting owner at 30 Weeburn Lane submitted comments for the record relative to the stormwater runoff potential. Was there another comment from?
No, they showed up in person.
Then why don't you just add a second sentence to that public comment item? Because it said we're concerned relative to water runoff potential noise being created from the use of the sports area. And
how about this? In response to concerns voiced by the neighbors, the applicant's representative committed that there would be no pickleball.
Yeah, I think.
Well, that they wouldn't build a pickleball court. They didn't say they wouldn't play pickleball on the basketball court. right? They changed the court size
Yeah,
so
but
that
I
it's
think the spirit of
non-conforming.
what they were presenting was that their neighbors were not going to hear.
In response to concerns voiced
I
at the
mean, that's what
hearing,
they represented.
So it says potential noise being created from the use of the sports area. So you want to add the word pickleball in there?
They, my recollection is they specifically said, no pickleball, the basketball court would just be used for basketball.
the applicant's representative said that there would be no pickleball.
And I think it's important based on what the public said.
But I don't want to foreclose the prospect that a new owner someday might want to come in.
That's why I'm saying, I'm not necessarily saying it's prohibited,
Right.
but I do think, you know, it's, you know.
Well, does that run with the land?
It does.
It does, it runs with the land, right? Because this will be on the land, right? So it means the next guy 10 years from now wants to put a pickleball court. I mean, I don't get, I mean,
That's why we need to be
it's.
clear about it.
Yeah, it can't be a condition of approval. We can note it in a finding.
Right.
I think it needs to at least be noted in the finding.
Yep, okay, so we can add that one sentence if you're all comfortable with that.
Because, I mean,
What, did you use the
basketball,
word
bouncing
permitted?
basketballs make noise.
Yeah.
Yes.
And bouncing pickleballs make noise.
But where
You just
give it to us, Jeremy.
represented.
In response to concerns voiced at the hearing, the applicant's representative said that there would be no pickleball,
Period.
period.
But they said there would be no pickleball court. They didn't say there would be no pickleball. It's a different
It
thing,
is.
right?
Yeah.
Imagine you go onto a basketball court and your two kids are knocking pickleballs around. Are these neighbors going to call the cops? They said no pickleball. They said, no, we're not going to build a pickleball court. We're going to build a basketball court,
That is a distinction. It's a huge distinction.
right?
I'll leave it to the commission.
I didn't catch what they said.
I just have in my notes in big exclamation points, no pickleball. I don't recall whether it was the nuance or whether it was.
You want to look at the video?
Playing pickleball on
That's
their
what-
driveway.
But then the zoning office gets a thing that says, they said that there'd be no pickleball in this, and I've got two kids out
Well,
there
it
playing
certainly has
pickleball.
not been designed as a pickleball court. I
Right.
think everyone agreed at the hearing that it's a semicircle.
They certainly said they're not building a pickleball court, which they originally were going to build.
Right, that's why a lot of people came out at the, you may recall, they came out at the first hearing. It did not proceed, and the neighbors said, we're here because we're concerned about.
I don't know that we need to, because the as-built survey is going to show the basketball court and not a pickleball court.
I mean, my neighbors play pickleball in their driveway. The guy bought one of those.
That's why I'm
All right, so
hesitant to
then
say.
is it overkill for us to add it in?
It's, you can add in no pickleball courts.
Yeah.
Add the word court, and then I think you're covered.
Yeah.
But if I play pickleball on my driveway,
Yep,
So they
Okay.
plan no pickleball court.
yep.
That was the
Yep. Okay,
representation.
I'll go with that, go with that.
Great, we'll add that sentence.
Thank you.
you're adding that to number 2 under.
Number 4.
Number 4 under public comment,
In
yeah.
theory, if some future owner wanted to modify this to
Yeah.
add
have
a
to
pickleball
get-
court, they'd have to come back for
they'd
us
have to get
anyway,
approval
because,
for it, yeah.
yeah, there might be
Yeah.
drainage issues, it'll be enlarged, blah, blah, blah.
Yep, yep, yep.
But it is a 2-acre plus
Yep.
piece of property.
Now that we've got, now that we're soon to have zoning fines, they can't just do it on their own.
Right.
They got passed last night.
Yeah.
Anything else, any other comments, typos, scrivener's errors on this one? Okay. With that said, I would entertain a motion to approve as edited, or as edited. Adam makes the motion, Amy makes a second, all those in favor? 4-0. Thank you. Okay. Next, land filling regrading application number 573A is an Apple, PL 20, also known as PL 25-150, Shiva Vasite and Vale Wayman at 25 Greenleaf, proposed to raise the existing pool house on the eastern portion of the property to replace it with a new gym structure, construction of a new pool house and spa, and perform related site development activities, including the regrading of the property to accommodate the improvements. The hearing closed on October 14, 2025. Again, I was not at that hearing, but I'm familiar with the aspects of the application.
And you will note in the cool modern structure that will serve as the pool house, in the basement will be a golf simulator.
Oh, yes, with a bar.
Telling you, man. Someone's going to the Nike tour in this town. In our comments, in our packets, we got a draft resolution dated today. Any typos, scrivener's errors, edits to this one that we found?
Yep.
Tom McCord did a nice job.
Find one, Jeremy? Yeah, we just got a typo, no big deal.
Yes, it is, because I didn't find it.
Yeah, where do you have a typo?
On page one, we just, it should be 2025. It's not a big deal.
2025.
Yeah, everybody's searching.
Oh, date of auction, October 28th, 2024. Ooh, I missed that too.
Oh,
There you go.
There you go.
But it is a straightforward resolution. I mean, there was no public concern at the hearing.
No, this one is, and it's cool
Very
too.
straightforward. 3 large property.
I would note for, ask, once it's finished, to a potential invite to check it out, because it might be the coolest looking property.
No,
in town.
we did that at the hockey arena that was there. With that said, is that an edit? That's a typo?
Yeah, it's just a typo.
Okay, with that said, I would entertain a motion to approve as edited. Amy makes a motion, George makes a second. All in favor? 4-0. Got it.
Great.
There we go, fantastic. Deliberations only on items closed tonight. Do we want to deliberate the charger and the subdivision?
Get it going.
Any questions on the charger?
Straightforward.
Straightforward.
Build it.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Tesla, 4 okay.
Staff, you please draft a positive resolution to approve the charging station at the
Old Kings Market.
Old Kings Market. And then the other item was the subdivision of the lots at 769 Hartree Ridge Road. Pretty straightforward. Craig did a nice job. They're putting in 2 new septic systems, drainage systems. Any question on that one?
Just why do they have to abandon those 2 different random portions? I
Just
wasn't.
because they want to. It's 50 years old. I'd rather have a brand new one than an old one. Have to worry about it
I
later.
think because that septic system.
No, not the septic systems, the portions of the acreage.
That I understand.
That's what I just wonder
What was
why.
that all about?
There's a rule in the subdivision regulations that if something is too narrow, it
Doesn't
quote unquote
count.
doesn't count towards your minimum acreage. So in this case, because they have 5 acres and each only needs to be 2, they had these extra, that's why they were able to do these weird shapes.
That's why. What's this? Because when I was looking at it, it didn't like it. I get like let's say the lot that's already there.
Right.
That little strip, it's not that narrow. It's like I get it. It's 6 feet, 7 feet, to try and make it 2 discontiguous things. It seemed like it's still pretty much land, and I was like, why do you have to abandon that?
Yeah, there's a rule, well, they don't abandon it.
Well,
but
it's not
there's a
abandoned,
rule.
but it doesn't count.
It doesn't
whatever.
count, but there's still plenty over. And what they want to do is be able to keep the existing house, so they keep all the setbacks around the house. They had to find appropriate areas for septic
But that's
system.
still part of their lot, right? That's not just no man's land that's
You're
unowned.
correct. There's only 2 lots, everyone owns something.
Something, okay.
But there were a number of things. You had the wetlands, you had the high water table, which impacted the septics, you had the existing house.
Because
And
they
so
were kind
that's
of
why,
funky lot lines, and then they had those 2 weird, gray areas that just are
right.
whatever. but-
Usually the concern with odd lot lines is they're trying to squeeze someone in.
Yeah.
Here, they got plenty of room, it's just they had all these natural constraints.
Okay. Otherwise, it's straightforward. Right on.
Okay, staff to draft.
Please. I don't think there's anything else we can do. We didn't close anybody else.
Can't close anything else.
That is skipped, okay. Chairman's report, I do not have a chairman's report tonight, I forgot about that. I'll get one for the next time. I'll drag it on for another half hour. Director's report, sir.
No, as many of you have acknowledged, last night the RTM did approve the zoning citation ordinance, and we will start working on getting a hearing officer appointed. It doesn't take effect till February 1st, so we do have time on that, and I think it'll be an effective tool, not in every circumstance, but sometimes just the threat of a fine should help resolve many things, hopefully.
So can I nominate George as your hearing officer?
You cannot, because it's state statutes require that the first selectman appoint.
Oh, there you go.
I'll call the first selectman.
Sorry, unless you want.
I doubt he can serve on P&Z and.
Are you trying to get rid of me from this commission?
No, you just love that stuff. You're the blight guy.
Exactly, yes.
You like dealing fines.
Bob Maslin represented that. He previously did that
He
for
did.
Norwalk, so.
I think he still does occasionally.
Maybe we can just
He
see
lives-
more Bob.
Yeah, he lives
Everybody
in
loves
Norwalk.
that.
Upcoming meetings on November 10th, which
Is a
is
special meeting
Monday.
Monday.
Okay, and then the next meeting after that is Tuesday, the 18th. And do we have one on the 25th?
You do have one on the 25th and a special meeting Monday, December 2nd, I believe, or it's a Tuesday?
We do.
So November 10th and December 2nd, Neil from Hardesty and Hanover will be with you to talk about the POCD. So he'll be here in
Wait, December 2 or December 1?
December 2. Is that a Tuesday?
That's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a regular.
So the only Monday is November 10th. So Neil did ask that if you guys can.
I filled mine out. I have
Beautiful, thank you, Amy.
I filled mine out.
Adam did.
I think I did it when I went to the round
Oh,
table
that's
things,
true.
but, yeah.
Let Neil know that you did fill it out.
Okay, yeah.
And then we have full public hearing nights on the 10th, full night on the 18th, full night on the 25th, and then what we're hoping to set aside is December 2nd for resolutions, approvals, clean up as much as we can.
And then just to think ahead, when is the State of the Town address?
Good question. At the 10th, we will adopt our 2026 calendar and elect officers. The State of the Town address, I think, is Monday, might be Monday the 1st or Monday the 8th of December. So that creeps up ever closer. And
Usually right after Thanksgiving.
yes.
You can do all that in a special meeting, I guess, if you notice it in advance or something.
Yeah, I don't know when, I'll have to talk to Krista and see.
One special meeting in December.
One special meeting in December.
Okay.
So we're adding 2 meetings to our calendar.
Well, it's not
Correct.
a special meeting, it's just a meeting.
No,
But it's not on the
Oh,
calendar.
yeah,
so-
you're right, because it's not on the calendar that we approved in the last, yeah, I got you.
So 7:30 means we're at 32 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we go on hiatus until January 2nd or something like that. And when are we doing, we do the calendar the same night of elections?
We're going to do the calendar November 10th, same night as elections.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
POCD elections. All righty. Any upcoming, no other business, 2/3 majority. With that said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. George making a
Happy to
motion?
do that one, yeah.
David, Adam makes a second. All those in favor? TV 79 or
Hello.
Darien TV, we are done. Thank you. Thank you, Karen.
Irene.